into threes. You can accumulate well here by running really hard. Overall, not a great deal of turn, not a great deal of seam movement. It's one of those pitches that plays way better than it looks. But again, we're looking at a decent score to be accumulated here between England and Australia. I reckon that 170, 180 mark is a good way to go. Good looking surface. Looking forward to match 2.
179 was more than enough for India in the first match today. They beat the West Indies by 26 runs. So in terms of winning the toss in this match, will the captain want to have a bat or a bowl first, now that we don't have quite as much moisture in that pitch? Well, the toss happened a short while ago. Ronak Kapoor was in charge.
They are title contenders. Today it's a warm-up, but England and Australia, and we're all set for the toss here at the Sapphire Gardens in Cardiff. Lovely to see Nat Sciver-Brunt back for England. Sophie Molyneux, captain of Australia, and former South Africa captain Chandra Fritz is our referee, match referee. Who's got the coin? Nat, give it a flip.
Heads. Heads is the call.
Heads called.
Head, Australia.
And it is a head. So Sophie, you've won the toss. Come this way, please. You won the toss. What are you going to do and why?
We're going to have a bowl. Just get out here, have a run around. Beautiful conditions, sun's out, so no better way to get into the game.
What's the area that you're most looking at from these warm-up games?
I think it all. Yeah, I think in all three facets we're building up, and yeah, looking forward to be able to get out here against a class opponent.
Including yourself, it's a spin-heavy lineup. Are you looking to bring spin into the game even in these warm-ups?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a big part of our team, warm up or not. And we've also got a full list of all-rounders as well. So, yeah, try and give as many bowlers some overs, but at the same time we want to be able to compete and, yeah, hopefully put on a good performance.
Not a bad opposition to get a warm-up game against. You know enough about them?
Yeah, there's a great opposition, and we know they're full of depth and firepower. So there's no better way to practice for the big stuff.
Go well today. All the best.
Thank you. Thanks.
Nat? Well, first and foremost, welcome back. I know this is where you'd want to be. How do you feel about having to bat first?
I feel good about batting first. I wanted to have a hit. It looks a bit of a used wicket, so it'd be good to get out there as a batting side and hopefully yeah, put some good runs on the board.
You did say yesterday that we can look forward to you more as a batter for now, but did I see you mark your bowling run up as well a few minutes back?
Yeah, that is for my wicketkeeper Amy Jones. She uses my run up to know where to stand.
All right, tell us a little more about how your return makes you think about the balance of your team. Are you going with the 15 or are you going with an 11 today?
No, we're going with an 11 today. Don't ask me about the changes because I can't remember. But obviously I'm different to what we've had so far in the summer. But yeah, we're going with an 11 today and yeah, I suppose use this as a proper warm-up game. Areas
that you'd like to focus on in this warm-up and maybe the next as well?
I guess there's a couple of different people in the lineup. So Lauren Fowler's playing and Tilly Coulson-Coleman as well. Just seeing different people in different roles, especially with the ball, be really exciting.
Well, good to see you back and go well today.
Thank you.
All right, well, that's the news from the middle here in Cardiff. Australia have won the toss and they're going to have a bowl.
Okay, well, as this is a warm-up game, each side can use any of the 15 players in their squad. But as you heard Nat Sciver-Brunt say there, England are just going to go in with an 11. So the 4 that miss out, Dunkley, Charlie Dean, Lindsay Smith and Issy Wong. Charles Dagnall's joined me again. The big news is Nat Sciver-Brunt is back, and a bit of confusion. She might even bowl. She gave a strange answer there to marking out a run-up.
She did indeed. I'll be staggered if she bowled. I think she's just sucking us all in and just trying to give a few sort of nudges and misdirection a little bit. But no, I can't see her possibly bowling. And deciding to leave out Lindsay Smith. Look, her and Lauren Bell have been a really potent opening partnership, but giving the opportunity to young Tilly Coulson-Coleman, TCC, left arm spinner, so she alongside Sophie Eccleston as well. Alice Capsey's down to bat at 4 and Amy Jones at the top of the order. So again, just mixing and matching and chopping and changing at the top of the order for England.
Australia have gone in with a 12, according to Sophie Molyneux. So the 3 players that miss out, Phoebe Litchfield, Megan Shute and Lucy Hamilton. So they've got a little bit of flexibility. Only 11 of those can bat. Australia, whoever they put out there, their squad is so strong.
It's absolutely stacked. No Phoebe Litchfield, which Tash Parent was just suggesting earlier that she only played one of the games against South Africa at Arundel recently. It's a shame, always great fun to watch Phoebe Litchfield at the top of the order, but this is a side that bats very, very deep. It has got so many different bowling options. You can see Alana King on the left-hand side, best one-day international spinner ranked at the moment, and obviously getting her an opportunity to bowl. They've got so many different variations, so many different options that they can turn to. So Sophie Molyneux has a wealth of riches, and they are definitely the side to beat during this ICC Women's T20 World Cup.
They are in the harder group, though, Australia. You would have to say they're in the group alongside India and South Africa. England may have fallen on their feet slightly in what looks like the easier group, if you could say that, although they are with the champions New Zealand. As far as Australia are concerned, 6-time champions Daggers, but haven't reached the finals of the last 2 world tournaments, the last 50 over and the last T20 tournament.
Yeah.
It would be unfathomable, wouldn't it, if it was 3 in a row?
It's a great point, and because this is a side that, no matter how many times they have won, they are a side that remains constantly hungry, and they are hurting from the fact that they, you know, this is one of the most successful sides in not just world cricket, in world sport. Over that decade of dominance that they had, they want to return to that. They still have an eagerness to dominate the Women's World Cup, and who would bet against them, given that the side that they do have? They've got so much experience. They've got players who have played all around the world, over in the 100, over in this competition in this country, over in the WPL, their own WBBL as well. So I think under new leadership in Sophie Molyneux, with the retirement of Alyssa Healy, they still have just a wealth of riches and so many match winners within that side. There is anyone who you can turn to that can turn a game for them. And so that is why they are the favourites, even though they may not have won the recent 50 over World Cup and New Zealand winning the T20 World Cup. They are still considered by many as favourites, and understandably so, and I think they will be very, very eager to make sure that they get their hands on some silverware very soon.
So Danny White-Hodge and Amy Jones out to open the batting. They've chopped and changed their opening partnerships in the last few games. England actually tried a few things, but they're in good form. They beat both India and New Zealand 2-1 in series wins in the build-up to this tournament. So that's 2 other contenders that they've beaten at home, which is just about perfect in terms of a build-up. When you look at the situation ahead of England and you look at the group that they're in, and I know it's never as easy as that, is it? Because they do still have good sides in their group. New Zealand, the champions, West Indies. Is this one of the best chances they'll have to win a home World Cup?
Yeah, I think it is. You know, of course, there are obstacles in their way, and that's not to, you know, do down the members within the same group as them. But this is a well-resourced, well-funded team, and this, having only one World Cup in 2017 in the last 20 years or so, is a poor return on that, and I think the pressure is on with a home World Cup and their record here in England. So there is a huge expectation on this side.
The veteran Megan Shute kicks us off. In swing, as you expect from Shute, right on the money. Said this will be her last World Tournament. No date on her retirement just yet, but so she's hungry, wants revenge. There's a bit of spite in there for Australia after those back-to-back semi-final exits. You do sense that she speaks for the whole squad there with this talented Australian side. In swing. Bit of width. That's a nice drive from White-Hodge, but picks out cover. Or from Amy Jones, rather. Yeah, so Sophia Dunkley left out of the side. She had been the incumbent opener, hadn't been in form. Don't want to miss that, but she's away, Amy Jones, for a single. First run on the board. But England seem not totally convinced about their opening partnership just yet. They've tried Capsey there, they've tried Dunkley, now you've got Amy Jones alongside White Hodge. What is their best opening partnership?
Well, for me, and I think, look, Sophia Dunkley, we had a long chat about this over the course of the 2 series that have just gone. She isn't in the best form at the moment. And I think that given the areas that she hits, I think she's relatively limited with the areas that she hits. I think you've got a better option of accessing more of the field with either Jones or Capsey. The other, as a quick single, is taken. Got to be quick here, and Jones is. But I would be tempted, or I would have gone with Alice Capsey at the top of the order. I think technically she is a slightly better player than Jones. It's a difficult one to try and fit in everybody that you want. The one constant has to be White Hodge at the top and Nat Silverbrunt at 3. That is absolutely set in stone for England.
Helped around the corner, won't carry all the way down to deep fine leg.
But I feel that Capsey has the temperament, the technique, and it's not all about bludgeoning sixes in the power play. It's actually finding gaps. And I think Capsey, with the outfields as fast as they are here in the UK, you only have to beat the infield, and usually it's 4. And I think the form that she's in, she had 70 at the top of the order and 70 in the middle order, as well as they'll just complete a single to conclude a tidy shoot over. 3 without loss. 4 without loss.
Well, we've been talking about those 2 groups, and it's the top 2 that will go straight through to the semi-final. So it's all about coming in the top 2. Group A, you can see there, you've got Australia, India, South Africa, who are 3 of the favourites. And Group B, including Ireland, Scotland, you've got England, New Zealand, the champions, and West Indies, who got to the semis last time. Now, neither group is going to be simple, but you would say, if you're England, you'd be happy to be in Group B and avoid the other big heavyweights, South Africa, India, and Australia. Kim Garth to open the bowling from the River Taff end for the Australians. In green, I heard Mel Jones complaining that they're wearing green.
I'm with Jones on this.
Is she right on?
Where's the Australian yellow? I'm going to get lots of people saying, coming in at me, it's gold, it's gold.
Canary yellow or green and gold. Yeah, hint about swing for her, very full.
Do you know what though, Floydie, is we can wax lyrical about our opinions ahead of the competition and talk about groups of death, and you know, this is, I think Scotland and Ireland can cause 1 or 2 upsets. You know, you go, Ola Prendergast has a great day, or Gabby Lewis, or the Bryce sisters have great days for Scotland.
That's in the gap, it was in the air, catchable height. It was perfectly in that gap between mid-on and mid-wicket, and they come back for 2. Well, Ireland have just beaten the West Indies for the first time in a T20 international.
Yeah, in that DLS game. And it only takes 1 player to have a really, really good day, and the apple cart can be upset. And I think that this is why the anticipation for this Women's T20 World Cup is so high.
Boulder, middle stump, out the ground. Fantastic delivery from Garth, just nipped away. Danny Wyatt Hodge, though, did show all of her stumps there, and she's paid the price.
I'm not sure how much this has done. Started on middle, maybe straightened a little bit, but that's not a great position from Danny Wyatt Hodge. Slightly angled bat, a little bit tentative with the feet. It's not moved that much. Danny Wyatt Hodge goes for 4 and England 6 for 1.
That is a good sight for England fans because captain Nat Sciver-Brunt is back from injury. She's back in the side. She's got a bat in hand, coming in at number 3 early against Australia. That's going down leg side. Well, she's there because of this dismissal. I must say, initially, Daggers, I thought this had nipped away quite significantly, but when you watch it back, there's a hint of shape in the air. That's about it. Does look a poor shot from Danny Wyatt-Hodge. Just completely gets the line wrong. It's in a bad position, almost backing away. Made the ball look a lot better than it actually was.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, she's only just come back, Danny Wyatt-Hodge, and she's not really got a score to her name. Her game is going after bowling, putting pressure on bowlers. However, it is fantastic for not just England cricket but world cricket to have that player back on screen. I think she can dominate any attack in the world. If you watched her in England colours or over in the WPL, I mean, she's ahead of pretty much everybody. First centurion in the WPL last season.
Oh, yes, Kimmy, great line.
It's a great first over from Kim Garth. That goes for just 2, picks up the early wicket. England 6 for 1. Joined us 3 hours ago. You wouldn't believe the scene because they were almost underwater when we got to the ground this morning. Look at it now. Perfect summer's day. Ground has definitely dried out now. We've had a bit of wind as well. Wind and sun does wonders for a cricket ground. Megan Schutt's getting a second over.
She's such a dangerous operator. I love Megan Schutt. The fact that she has done the same thing for a long period of time, yet no one seems to have worked her out. And a really, you know, everyone thinks, oh, well, maybe I should bat and treat her almost like an off-spinner. You know, she's not express pace, but her accuracy and her variations.
High, it's going to be another chance. Taken comfortably, Australian style, above the eye line. That was a bizarre shot, really, from Amy Jones. I think she was trying to flick it to the leg side. It was a big leading edge, and England getting themselves in a spot of early bother here.
Well, I mentioned about Megan Schutt, and it just holds that natural in-swing of hers, lends itself to a bit of leg cut. Might have just held a bit in the surface, but head was up from Amy Jones. The leading edge does for her, and she goes for 2, and England 6 for 2.
You can just see there, it's a big leading edge, trying to go over the onside with the angle that Schutt creates. Got it all wrong. Comfortable catch for Talia McGrath, right off the bottom of the bat. The inform Alice Capsey comes to the crease. Big debate, where should she bat? And that's because she can bat pretty much anywhere. Couple of 50s recently.
You can see Amy Jones looking to try and go over the infield, and someone like Megan Schutt, and I just wonder why she's not trying to go through the infield, actually keeping it on the deck. That's the danger that you have with a bowler such as she. And Capsey's in so early, she might as well be opening.
Good bowling this. Angling into that off stump, good length, so difficult to do anything with that early in your innings.
And the other thing, Floydie, in the power play, you've got Megan Shute, and that allows Beth Mooney to stand up. And as a batter, you can't feel like you can leave that crease. You feel a little bit crowded. You've got to stay where you are, and so naturally you can't advance.
You've got the same at the other end as well with Kim Garth. That's going down leg side. So it's been a relentless start by these two experienced new ball bowlers for Australia. Mentioned Alice Capsey's form. Fresh from a 74 not out, opening the batting against New Zealand to win the game recently, and then an 82 at number 4 against India to also win the game. That's a wicket maiden, a rarity in T20 cricket. Well bowled Megan Shute, 6 for 2. Of course, this tournament is truly a global one, isn't it? Going out all around the world. Those are the ways that you can watch it wherever you are, whether that be India, Australia, the Middle East, to New Zealand, Bangladesh and beyond. We've got you covered. Not just there either. Sri Lanka, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Pacific Islands. It's a long way, that. Netherlands, Caribbean, of course, Latin America, rest of the world. All the places you can watch the World Cup. Clipped very nicely and powerfully, actually. Well fielded out on the boundary. Ash Gardner coming round. It's a real hallmark of this Australian team. Not too many weak links in the field.
You've got so many bases covered, and in the field this is expected. This is the norm. Beautiful technique. Throwing yourself around.
Almost squeezed onto pad and then onto stump.
You were talking about that 80 that Capsey scored in the last T20 international against India. I thought it was a fantastic knock. Just for the fact that England at the time were 38 for 3 and India were well on top, and it was the counter-attack that Capsey put on against that very strong Indian bowling lineup. That was really noticeable.
Banks away there, that Siva Brunt. She's followed by Garth, so doesn't get the width she requires. Only get a thick inside edge for the single.
Can be a little bit of a jittery starter, an SB, but she is one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, of sticking the ball where the fielders aren't. She manipulates spin brilliantly.
Great job here, Kimmy.
And because of the 4 fielders instead of 5 in the women's game to the men's game, she almost always sticks the ball where a 5th fielder would be, outside of the circle. She needs time in the middle.
Change of field for Capsey. Boundary rider going out at deep point. Comes down, and that was a missed chance for a stumping, a tough one. It was a wide, it was full. She was blinded by the batter, but it was definitely a missed stumping opportunity there for Beth Mooney.
Yeah, it was, and the standards that she sets herself would have expected to. And for a moment, I think she thought she had it. I like the intent from Capsey, but if you're going to go down, you've got to connect.
It was a big risk, wasn't it? Oh, and that's going to be another wide. Maybe she thought she was going to come down again.
But it's very easy, and I like it. It's very easy to let bowlers dictate. Given the score is 11 for 2, 3.3 overs, you don't want to feel like the bowlers can settle at all. So you've got to try and disrupt them somehow.
Up and over. She's good down the ground, Alice Capsey. She hasn't got all of this, but enough for the boundary. Just needed something there, just to release the pressure that was building up here, England.
And that was one of the aspects of her 80, was the way that she played in front of the wicket. When she has going down the ground and playing in front of square, she is twice the player than the one who starts off paddling and trying to sweep. She's got the game. She can hit 360.
That's uppish too, but right out the screws. That's 4. Just a flick, and it raced away. See that she's in form.
That's what I was talking about, and hitting through the field. Just lent on this. Yes, it was in the air, but no real danger. And a far better piece of timing, but maybe the shot before lent itself to that particular ball that was delivered.
Led to a change in field. So they brought in the fielder on the boundary on the offside and reinforced that leg side. Got a deep mid-wicket now and a deep backward square leg. Wonder if she'll try and create some room here and go through the offside. Got ball to finish. A good end to the over for England. 19 for 2.
And a policy that Alice Capsey has just provided us there is starting straight, going down the ground. On a pitch with a new ball that might be just holding a little bit or a bit of cut around there, start off straight, then work it through the offside or leg side with your hands and your wrists and underneath the eye line. Don't go and reach out for it. Play it underneath the eye line. In the context of this game, that was a poor over from Kid and Garth, but it's still 19 for 2 after 4. And the fact is, Australia have so much that they could turn to. Turn to the off spin of Ash Gardner, the left arm of Sophie Molyneux, or the leg spin of Alana King. So many options.
Yeah, you mentioned the options, and actually Chief Selector, the Australia side, National Selector Sean Flegler, referred to Alana King as the 4th choice spinner, which I was a little surprised at. Here she is anyway, first delivery. Oh, and she bowls her straight away, skids on, gets the big wicket of Nat Siver-Brunt, trying to play the pull shot, and it wasn't the right length. That's a big wicket.
Well, I'd like to see the 3 that are better than her. Just skidding on. She puts so much action on the ball. Dangerous game a little bit, just keeping a nudge low. And Nat Siver-Brunt does play well off the back foot. She plays spin very, very well. Probably thought she might have got a little bit more bounce than that. And England will be disappointed that she's not spent a touch more time at the crease. But is this concern as the captain goes for 3 and England are 19 for 3?
Yeah, to be fair, I've started speaking well.
Right arm over. That's middle. Five deliveries.
England under the pump early in this World Cup warm-up match against the old enemy Australia. Heather Knight's in, 19 for 3. Off the mark straight away. We saw some excellent seam bowling first couple of overs. So a good bit of spin bowling. Alana King's first ball. Look at that. Vastly experienced Heather Knight. Solid average. It's a tight one. Just backed up enough.
It's an odd thing saying someone's 4th choice or 3rd choice or 2nd choice. A bit strange to me, that. But that said, I look at this Australian side, and the one bowler I didn't talk about was Georgia Wareham. He's still got 4 spinners in this warm-up game.
It's a lovely sweep shot, decisive from Heather Knight. Fantastic connection as well, just behind square on the leg side.
Really, really positive from Heather Knight. Lovely big strong foot movement and arm extension. Shot she plays very, very well, and it was these two in partnership that won that game for England down at Taunton against India in the final match of the T20 series.
That's also kept a little bit low. Just got to be careful with Alana King because she's such a big ripper, big turner of the ball. The odd one that skids on can be the danger delivery, as Nat Siva-Brunt found out. Excellent first over from one of Australia's 2 leggies. 5 overs done. England 25 for 3.
For Australia at the river ends number 14, Anna Sutherland.
Well, Australia, complete control. Early wickets, and here's Annabelle Sutherland with the final over of the power play. Welcomed into the attack by a delightful drive of the bat of Alice Capsey. That puts a smile on her face.
Yeah, that's just what Charles Dagnall has just been saying. Alice Capsey looks a far better player when she starts playing straight early on in her innings. Keeps things really simple. Over pitch from Sutherland, trying to find some swing. Alice Capsey is liking it in that region at the moment.
Yeah, amazing what form can do. These two were part of that decisive partnership series decider against India. In fact, just took the game away. India would have felt like they were on top. Well, Capsey and Knight brought exactly what England want them to when stakes are high. Capsey with flamboyant batting, counter-attacking punch, and Heather Knight with just her experience at the other end. Pretty good simulation, as it turns out, even though England would have liked a few more from their top order.
And you say flamboyant batting, and she does have all the shots in the locker, and you felt actually, you know, I think people forget she's still only 21 years old, and when she came onto the scene in the 100, 15, 16-year-old. And actually, I almost feel that sometimes with the young players coming through, they have all the skills, and they kind of want to show every single different shot. She's kept it really simple recently. So she has got that flamboyancy, but actually what I feel that she's doing really well at the moment is just playing each ball on its merit and knowing that she's got the skills, she's got the shots to put whatever ball she faces away. So for me, I just feel that the pennies dropped, she's worked on her fitness, I feel that she's worked on her attitude as well. I think England have asked for more of her. She's just a lot more clear out there.
Yeah, it's a great point you make, Tash. Being the teenage prodigy in India debut, Shefali Verma. Geez, this one's going to dominate world cricket, and it takes some time for a 15, 16-year-old thrown into the international stage. Oppositions work you out, and I think you get more and more aware of your own game with time. Capsey would hope this is her time. That's an excellent power play for Australia. 30 for 3, England after 6.
6 overs gone, England 30 for 3. That's
And England, having lost a few wickets, could do with a little break. It's time for drinks.
Right arm over.
So power play that was dominated by Australia's bowler Seaman Spin. We're into the 7th over now, and Sophie Molyneux brings in one of her deputies, Talia McGrath. For the first time in this warm-up game, seamers enjoyed themselves. Megan Schutt was terrific, so too was Kim Garth. Annabelle Sutherland came back nicely after being hit for 4 first ball, went for just 5 in the last over. Fielder spread. That is a shot and a half from Capsey. Just with authority and finds the gap.
Oh, that is a beauty from Alice Capsey. Talia McGrath's first ball, a little bit of a loosener, short of a length, just sits up nicely for Capsey, who you just feel at the moment has just got so much time on every single delivery. He's got everyone out on the leg side, but finds the gap beautifully. Just even there, I know she didn't get that one away straight to mid-off. Actually, just feel that there's no premeditation at all in her game at the moment. The first ball was short, she put it away. Next ball, she almost knew that it was going to be full, but didn't overcommit to the shot. Seeing the ball really well here.
Right leg shooter.
Megan Schutt out there paroling the boundary. They're going to be retiring after this T20 World Cup. We're going to see a few people from legends of the game retiring. Susie Bates has announced her retirement after this T20 World Cup. These players have done so much for the women's game over such a long period of time.
Catch. Keeper. Well done, Kingy.
Yeah, I'm sure whenever New Zealand's last game isn't, the defending champions would hope to go a long way to defending that title. Historic first T20 World Cup win in the UAE in 2024. Sophie Devine and Susie Bates together for a swan song. Megan Schutt, like you mentioned, although, I'll say it, Ash, these days, retirements,
Well done, Piers. Well done, Piers.
we're only one announcement away from a reverse. Who knows?
Yeah, we see Shabnam Ismail coming back out of retirement. We've seen Deandra Dottin do it. Just recently retired. I definitely won't be coming back out of that one. Not that I'm in anywhere near those class of players.
Outside edge. Talia McGrath be disappointed. Good fortune for Heather Knight to finish that over with 4 as England go to 41 for 3 after 7.
Yeah, just a little bit. Predominantly bowls those cutters, Talia McGrath, but she has to get the line straight on the stumps, just a little bit of width. No cover in that third region as well. Streaky, but effective from Heather Knight. I'm not sure how I feel about coming back out of retirement, but I'm certainly very happy. I'm very happy to see Shabnam Ismail back in a South African jersey. See a change of bowling from the River Taff end. Ashley Gardner also was in the mix with the potential of who was going to be that next Australian captain after Alyssa Healy retired. 100 matches under her belt. She's such a brilliant all-rounder for Australia. Her bowling in particular has improved so much over the last couple of years, and we know what she can do with the bat as well.
Oh, Ash, great start, great start.
And spoke quite openly about mindset shift that both herself and a number of these Australian players have picked up. Just plugs a little bit in the field that allows the opportunity for the fielder to prevent the boundary.
Great work, Piers.
Elise Perry still just as good in the field.
Yeah, like she's playing in her first game, Elise Perry did just plug on that first bounce.
No stopping that one. Capsey just latched on to the length and the width.
Yeah, and this is what Charlotte Edwards has noted and also called for from her batters in this lineup. She wants the batters to be able to access that offside. Not necessary to have to go over the top. But actually on a good pitch here at Cardiff, also a quick outfield now. Good way to go for Alice Capsey. Somewhere that she's really favoured in the start of this summer. And actually what I've been really impressed with Alice Capsey is the way that she's moved her feet. I feel sometimes in the past, last couple of years have been the last couple of World Cups, and in that middle order, the way that England have faced spin hasn't been good enough. They haven't been proactive enough. It's just good to see her using the depth of her crease. That's what she'll do against leg spin, but come out to the off spinner.
Catch.
Innovative and mighty effective from Heather Knight. Plays the sweep so well. They're taking a liking to Ash Gardner. This is an expensive over now.
You're right, Ash, all good. Keep going, girl.
And she did this in the decider against India, in this brilliant partnership between Capsey as well. And even though she's got 2 points in there, she's backing herself. That is one of her favoured shots. So actually that's what makes this combination so hard to bowl at. You've got Capsey going down the ground, then Heather Knight with the clever sweeps.
Good one.
Partnerships building with confidence now. They were 19 for 3, England. They're now 53 for 3 after 8. Former captain Heather Knight, and yesterday captains came together for quite the carnival. Waterloo Bridge was transformed into a cricket pitch, among other things. I won't spend too much time telling you what the format was and what the rules were like, but they enjoyed themselves with creators and fans and who's who of this tournament. Promises to be something special. surge that we've seen in popularity of women's game. About time. 12 teams. Could be anybody's World Cup. Although England do have a history to live up to. It's a perfect history as far as home World Cups go, dating back right to the inaugural ODI World Cup in 1973. Heather Knight herself, captain of the victorious 2017 side. Don't want to think too much about that final. Charlotte Edwards was in charge when the inaugural edition of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup took place in 2009 here. So, very warm hosts, the English, but they don't leave much for the opposition when it comes to tournaments in the women's game.
Georgia Wareham into the attack. I feel that she's just ahead of Alana King, purely actually just because of her batting, her all-round ability. I would say Alana King is a better bowler than Georgia Wareham. Georgia Wareham's batting, and you know, she's very flexible in the order for Australia. We've seen her bat at 3 on a number of occasions and almost used as a finisher as well. She plugs that short third gap and leaves mid-wicket open to Alice Capsey.
Nice length, Wolf. Good pace.
I guess it's a great validation to Alana King's skill set that in spite of the amount of all-rounders, genuine all-rounders she's competing with, that Australia find value in having her. It's come a key game in the right conditions. There's a lot that's changed in batting and T20 cricket in the women's game, but you'd still say good leg spinner poses a different challenge. It could be a point of difference. Oh, when you get it wrong with line, players of the caliber of Heather Knight will punish you. Saw the reverse sweep last over, this time the conventional sweep to good effect.
Yeah, and this is what I don't think you get from Alana King. She's so consistent with her line and length, but actually Georgia Wareham can sometimes stray down towards that leg side. And the way that Heather Knight is sweeping the ball at the moment, you don't want to too straight. Georgia Vol on the boundary, just not able to do enough there. Outfield's really quickened up under the sun here at Cardiff. Oh, she's given that some hair, Georgia Wareham. Even Heather Knight didn't quite know what to do with that one. She does bowl a quicker pace, so actually, maybe not exactly where she wanted to land it. And a nice change up from Wareham, something that she's probably been working on.
Changed her mind about the single, did Knight? Took off and sent back by Capsey. Rebuilt nicely. 59 for 3 now. Rate still under 7. Now they're taking off for 2. There was slight hesitation. The throw was wide. 8 off Wareham's first over. England 61 for 3.
The Knight just wanting to show everyone that she still is able to get back for 2. Is really keen on the second one there. After a tricky start for England, Jones, White, Hodge and Silverbrunt not able to get going at all. This partnership, Capsey and Knight, is proving to be really key for England. Won the decider against India. Doing the job here so far. Talia McGrath. Seen her bowl 1 over, but actually from this Cathedral Road end. She's changing ends. Going to come up from the River Taff end now. Sometimes as a bowler, actually, if you don't quite feel right at the end that you've bowled, it's just a good little change up. There's not really a slope here at Cardiff. Bit of wind going from left to right as we look at from the Cathedral Road end. Just a change of ends just might help her get her radar here, Talia McGrath.
Yeah, so it's the other way around from the end she's bowling at, so it'll go right to left and try and naturally take the ball away from the right-hander. She's got the angle around the wicket as well.
Goal
If
T.
that was a plan to bowl to that fielder at deep mid-wicket. He found it with perfection. The batter went on the bounce to Gardner.
Coming over to you.
Yeah, I think she's going to come over the wicket here to Heather Knight. I just feel she's trying to be a little bit more defensive to Alice Capsey, get her off strike and bowl predominant of the most of her balls to Heather Knight.
Yes, we'll find out now if it was a one-ball plan.
It's interesting, isn't it, Talia McGrath? She's vice captain now, sort of joint vice captain with Ashley Gardner. She's also 6th ranked T20 batter in the world, and actually you feel that she's probably the one, when Phoebe Litchfield, we assume, is going to come back into this lineup, she's probably the one that looks the most vulnerable out of the batters. I'm going to look for a second. No, not this time. Heather Knight opts to just stick to the one. It must be a really interesting situation to be in for Talia McGrath. Sometimes you're captaining the side when Sophie Molyneux, who was injured in that India series, but then sometimes you find yourself out of the team as well.
And it's unfamiliar territory for Australia that have been the gold standard in the women's game, especially at ICC tournaments over the last decade and a half, maybe even more. This is why I think the language of the Australian team, the dressing room, seems to have changed. Ash Gardner speaking of, they spend time with the team psychologist, just try and remind themselves of how they can play freely
Spin.
without worrying about outcomes.
Keeper.
It's such an outcome-driven sport in Australia. We're used to the outcome being perfect. That started to weigh down on the team. After Alyssa Healy, it's not like they've had any trouble finding world-class captains or world-class players, but this is a deflection from there. Sophie Molyneux, this player whose own workload is closely monitored. Ash Gardner and Talia McGrath preferred in a vice-captaincy position. One thing you do know, no matter what Australia are going through, they're the team to beat. Halfway point through this innings, England 68 for 3.
Halfway points of the innings, 60 balls to go.
Nice T, good set. You're right out there, Wolf. Come on.
Ball a change, right arm over.
Returning at the Cathedral Road at 27, Alana King.
A decent recovery by England here in Cardiff. They were 19 for 3 at one stage of this T20 World Cup warm-up match against Australia. They pushed on to 68. Partnership of 49 of 35 balls between Capsey and Knight. Alana King back into the attack. Came down very early there, Alice Capsey. Just building nicely here, Mr. Dagnall.
They've played really well, and it's much like we saw, going back to it, I know I've mentioned it before, but the partnership at Taunton against India in the third T20 just recently. They played with a great deal of positivity, they played in good areas.
Oh!
Too far down there, not going to be given LBW.
And it's about putting the onus back on the bowling side. When you're 19 for 3, the bowling side is up and the tails are up. Great vibe within the infield, and how quickly you can try and shift that needle a little bit.
Oh, yes, Kingy. I like that shot for us, Kingy.
And they've worked the ball well into space, smattered with boundaries. Capsey with 5 and Heather Knight with 4. And even though the rate isn't electric, it's about giving yourself a little bit of a platform for that middle order, for Kemp and Gibson maybe to strike it a bit later on.
They're very keen to use their feet in this over to Alana King. So far to pretty good effect. Heather Knight's always been good at that. And you're right, they have picked off the singles, haven't they? They've just kept it going even when they haven't been able to take a big scoring over.
Oh.
And that kept low. Overall, though, the pitches play pretty well. Second time it's been used today, of course. 179 was more than enough for India in the first game. A lot of grass on it. It was a little bit damp earlier on today. It looked like it might seam around, but it hasn't really. A sweep straight down the throat of Tali McGrath, just behind square in the ring on the offside. It's one of Heather Knight's shots. I think maybe just slightly deceived by the length. Didn't get in the perfect position, and that's an important breakthrough for the Aussies.
Yeah, not a huge amount of pace to work with here from Heather Knight. You see how she went out to really go and strike it. Wanted to get it finer. The simplest of catches from Talia McGrath. And it's that Alana King again. You need a wicket, that's who you turn to. And a knock that's been cut off in its prime. She looked good though for her 25 from 22, and England 73 for 4.
The talented 21-year-old big hitting all-rounder Freya Kemp comes in at number 6 for England. Yeah, could do with another partnership here. Unfortunately, that partnership, from England's point of view, between Knight and Capsey, just sawn off as it was really getting going. It was worth 54 for that 4th wicket. And now it's the Aussies firmly back with the noses in front. Annabelle Sutherland's going to come on for her 2nd over. They've really rotated the bowlers, Australia. 7 of them used already in 11 overs. How does Alice Capsey play it from here then?
I think she continues. As we just have a look at Heather Knight once more. Went early. You can see that she just didn't quite, got high on the bat, almost scooping it a little bit rather than getting out and striking it. It is a shot she plays well. She's played it a couple of times today, but maybe a little bit too short to do it.
She'll be kicking herself there because she got the width she wanted. No fielder on the boundary on the offside, barring long off, but just couldn't get it through the infield.
I think this is the trump card for Australia, Annabelle Sutherland. She's a fantastic cricketer. I think probably in T20 more with the ball.
That's a sharp bouncer. Where's that come from?
Yeah, well, she can play that enforcer role, Annabelle Sutherland. Excellent at the death. You look at her in longer form cricket, in Test cricket, her record is ridiculous, and in 50-over cricket. But in T20 cricket, she sometimes will bat a little bit lower, but she has got such ability, unbelievable fielder. I've seen her take some catches which are just astonishing. But I think in this particular Australian side, she's that enforcing bowler, someone who you call on at the death as well.
Club down the ground, but only for 1. Her death bowling has really stood out and really improved, hasn't it, in the last couple of years?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I would be hard pressed to say about having a more influential cricketer in a side in world cricket at the moment than Annabelle Sutherland. In all formats, she is someone who can be easily relied upon and can change the game. She was a 100 winner last season with the Northern Superchargers, now Sunrisers Leeds. How keen they were to make sure that she was up at Headingley again this coming season after the T20 World Cup. And I just think she can play different roles within the side, within her own bowling. If you need her to bowl cutters or slow balls, she can do that. If you need her to force a wicket with short deliveries or bowl death.
And it's also about knowing when to bowl those deliveries, isn't it? You'll obviously know more than me, Daggers, but that, like with that bouncer there, you could see Capsey wasn't expecting it at all because of all the changes of pace, and she just seems to bowl the right delivery at the right time.
And that element of surprise can actually flummox a batter. And you think, oh, it's a short ball, I'm going to have a dip here, and soon enough you get a top edge or a leading edge or whatever it is, and you're back in the pavilion.
Ray Kemp's off the mark. Only going to be one, but it's a fabulous over. It goes for just 2. 12 overs done. England 75 for 4. Australia rotating their leg spinners. A couple of overs for Alana King so far. 2 for 10 for her. Georgia Wareham's going to come in for her second over now. No bowler so far has bowled more than 2 overs, keeping the England batters guessing. Good economy rates there, particularly Megan Shue, 2. Annabelle Sutherland's 2 overs for 7. It's a rare misfield from an Australian fielder. Charlie McGrath.
And if you want Floydie, you can bowl Nicola Carey. Nicola Carey down in the batting order at 10. It's just stupid. You can even bowl a little bit of Georgia Voll if you want to.
Grace Harris. Googly. Pulled straight to deep mid-wicket. Yeah, that's one feature of this Australia side for many years, isn't it? You watch Georgia Voll. Sorry, not Georgia Voll. Georgia Wareham, rather. Bowler Googly. Picked by Alice Capsey. Hit hard and through mid-wicket. Freya Kemp so powerful. Darlie McGrath got a hand to that, but could do nothing to stop it.
She has power. Strong through that end leg side. Just waits long enough, fractionally short from Wareham, and Kemp is onto it. And a big say in that second T20 against India in Bristol.
Bit ungainly, but she got the required result, paddling that around the corner. Almost fell over in the process. Smart idea to target that area, though.
She's done really well in the end, actually. I don't think she was necessarily looking for it. And then adjusted at the last minute. No pictures in the scorebook, Floydie.
You don't often see that deft touch from Freya Kemp, do you? But she's got it, and she's forced a change in the field. So short fine leg's gone in. Square leg as well. There's now no fielder behind square on the leg side if she wants to try and sweep up and over. And across the stumps, but Wareham was wary to that. Hung this one a long way outside the off stump.
I actually think that's a better line to Freya Kemp, trying to bring her forward a little bit. Anything in her swinging arc, she can really power away, but just a little bit wider.
Good length, Wolfer.
Big picked up at least a run off every ball of that over. England 13 overs bowled, 85 for 4. Feels like Freya Kemp and Danny Gibson have really added an extra element to this England side, with Nat Sciver-Brunt not able to bowl, just to have those seam bowling all-rounders in there. And Kemp in particular, with her batting and the power that she offers, just gives England an extra dimension. Nat Sciver-Brunt should be bowling again soon.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that, you know, Lauren Bella's become now one of the world's best new ball bowlers, and having those options available to Nat Sciver-Brunt through Danny Gibson, through Freya Kemp, a little left arm option, even though she's not the pace that she was, she's just adapted her game a little bit. There is Lauren Bella along with Lauren Filer. But I think England also look a better side when they have got those 3 out-and-out spinners. You've got Eccleston and Dean there nailed on. Lindsay Smith, who's now ranked #1 in the world. We're seeing Tilly Courtine-Coleman play today. I think that balance makes England much more of a threat with the ball. You can still use Alice Capsey if you want for a little extra off-spin.
Well, you mentioned there Tilly Courtine-Coleman, who's the hot new thing in terms of left arm spin, 18 years old. Sophie Eccleston, former world #1 ranked bowler. Lindsay Smith, current #1 ranked bowler. You could argue really quite convincingly that in terms of left arm spin, England certainly have the best options in the world. Question is, can you fit them all in the 11?
Well, no. You'd like to, but no, you can't. And look, I think Tilly Courtine-Coleman will no doubt be the one that does miss out, but they can breed left arm spinners in this country, and I think Sophie Eccleston has helped do that. But I also think having that little bit of competition, you know, Lindsay Smith's not a big turner of the ball. She sort of relies on that bit of drift and swing, especially in the power play. Very difficult to get away.
Catch. It was almost a return catch. Just a couple of yards wide of Ash Gardner. It's a good over by her. Just goes for 4. England 89 for 4. So we've got 6 overs to go in England's innings. They've got a bit of time to think about what they're going to do. The drinks are coming onto the field. This was the first wicket to fall. Danny Wyatt-Hodge, bowled by Megan Shute, played all round it really. And Amy Jones trying to flick Shute over the leg side, leading edge, and then Nat Sciver-Brunt, the skipper, one just skidding on from Alana King, who then picked up her second wicket. And a second England captain in a row, actually the former captain, Heather Knight, trying to play the reverse sweep straight to Talia McGrath, a backward point, and that ended a promising partnership between Knight and Capsey, which was worth 54 in the end. England were in real trouble at 19 for 3. Jones 2, Wyatt-Hodge 4, Sciver-Brunt on a return to the side, out for just 3. Then Knight and Capsey steadied the ship, but Heather Knight went for well-made 25 off 22 just when she was getting going. She got out. Alice Capsey may hold the key here. She's 41 off 34, and joined by Freya Kemp, who's 11 not out. Now 89 for 4 of 14 overs.
7 bowlers have been used by Australia, although they could add another 3 should they want to. 2 wickets for Alana King, 1 each for the openers, Megan Shute and Kim Garth. Decent set of bowling analyses there. England might just have to start thinking about stepping on the gas a little bit. 89 for 4, there's only 6 overs remaining. You've got to think that 150 is an absolute minimum on here. I realise it's a warm-up game, but you've got to, with the World T20 just 4 days away, important to get that rhythm going in your batting, and they're going to need to press on against a very strong Australian side.
England head coach Charlotte Edwards was just out there for that drinks break, having a chat with her charges, her 2 batters out there in the middle. In fact, that's been a real feature of these warm-up games today, is we've had a few drinks breaks, and the coaching staff have come on every time to deliver information, almost like a tactical timeout, which you won't get in the tournament proper. But these games really just designed to get some momentum, to get some time in the middle out there for the batters, to get some overs into the bowlers, and then if you win it, fantastic. You can carry that in, that confidence, into your first game. Although having said that, England did say at the toss, Nat Sciver-Brunt, we're playing 11 here. We are treating this like a proper match, so they won't want to give Australia any kind of psychological advantage if they come across them in the semis or final. Shoot back into the attack, and that's really nicely glided by Freya Kemp. She just bisected that gap behind square on the offside perfectly. It's also a Yorker length. Did well to get the full face of the bat on it.
It's clever cricket from Freya Kemp. Know your options, where your gaps are, where your boundary option is, where your get out clause, your one options as well. Look at the field, long off, deep cover for the left-hander. And I think Megan Shute, she got the length right, just the line fractionally wrong. And these are the small percentages that can make a difference whether a ball goes for 1 or for 4. She was probably 6 inches too wide with that Yorker, and that allowed Freya Kemp just to open that face. Slightly different for Capsey. It's a deep extra cover, but mid-off is up inside the circle.
Full toss, which is punished in the end. All the fielders out on the leg side, as you said, Daggers, but you bowl a full bunger. That might not be enough.
Well, it's a gift, and it's a rare one from Megan Shute. There's 3 on the leg side boundary, and it goes very quickly across square of the wicket here because of the size of the square. It goes from one end of the ground to the other.
Big appeal, which comes down the track, hits her on the back pad, and it's given out. Was a long way down there, Alice Capsey. Was that drifting down leg? Doesn't matter, she got to walk back.
Well, that ball had a long way to travel. That's all I'll say. You can see how far she came down. And yes, maybe, but you could see a little bit of middle, you can see a bit of leg. No problems with the line, but the height, I think you're guessing a little bit there. Anyway, end of Alice Capsey. She has to depart for 45 from 36. Good knock from Capsey in England, 98 for 5.
He has had a sore neck though, so. Middle, please. Middle. Thank you.
two seam bowling all-rounders at the crease for England now. Danny Gibson has joined Freya Kemp. In short, that's hit hard as well into the gap. He was ready for that length, right out the screws. Good way to start the innings.
That's not a great delivery from Megan Shue. Brand new batter at the crease, test them out, and that's just going to sit up. You've not really got the pace. And Danny Gibson will gratefully receive that to get off the mark. Can just slap it away. It'll sit up nice and easy pace. And I think Shue might be just kicking herself a little bit.
Have to bowl that one again as well. It's been a strange over, really. 3-4s, a wicket, a wide now. Licorice, all sorts.
Can't take your eyes off it, Matt. What's coming now?
The fingers across that one. Again, it's hitting towards that gap. They're going to come back for 2. Well run. So in the end, that over goes for 16, but a crucial wicket. 5 overs to go, 105 for 5.
Well, an eventful over to say the least. That last one from Megan Shue, the most expensive of the innings, and yet most decisive strike as the dangerous looking Alex Gapsey is gone. I'm sure she'd feel a little hard done by. And this is a warm-up game, and therefore simulation is good. Put yourselves under pressure. In fact, an extra run as a result of it turned out to be a pretty good throw from the deep. It took the stumps directly, and the ricochet allowing for Freya Kemp to complete the second. As Ash Farron's back with me, 107 for 5 now. England playing just 11. Can they get from here?
Another wide there, this time from Talia McGrath. Saw a couple in the previous over. Megan Shue. Something that you don't normally see from Australia. They're normally so disciplined. I like this partnership for England. These two will run really well together. Two of the most athletic players in this side.
Big shot and hit most incredible fashion. Clears the fielder who for a moment thought she's in the game. Annabel Sutherland. She struck that emphatically, did Freya Kemp.
She didn't realise where that had gone, actually. She almost wasn't looking to hit the 6. Such an easy swing. And actually, I almost thought that was going towards the offside. But such the power that that Freya Kemp has. That's gone over the rope. This is why she's in this England side. This is why Charlotte Edwards, for a long time, has backed the likes of Freya Kemp, because she can do that. And England, in that middle order, haven't had the power hitters in the side over the last couple of years.
The more you look at it, that 6 that she hit, ball before this one, it's an incredible shot. It's also very deliberate. She's chosen to go straight. That's the boundary that you target here in Cardiff. So easy. Naturally, you'd have a lot of batters try to drag that to the leg side.
And also, she's done her homework as well, because she's realised that people are going to start to go across her, try and get it out of her arc. You feel that that's not wide enough to her, but she's going back and deep in her crease as well.
Oh, yep, teammate, like that shot for us.
You know, I know Freya Kemp pretty well. She's a really clever person. She will make sure that she does all her homework before the games, and You know, in that New Zealand series, she did slightly struggle when New Zealand went wide across her. But actually, because she's sort of figured out how she's going to play that, she's going deep in the crease and well across to the offside. Then once again, the bowlers are having to think what they can do to counteract that.
On cue this time, Talia McGrath goes across.
Also, when she goes across, you know, first and foremost, she is looking for the boundary to go straight. But actually, just as you saw there on that previous delivery, if it's not quite there, then she's happy just to hit it through the offside and get up the other end.
It was a back of the hand slow ball from McGrath. Gibson had all the time in the world, just could not get any bat onto it. Bet Mooney's done well. She's had a few down the leg side. Kept her busy this afternoon. They're getting the runs in these final few overs. 16 of the last and 14 from this one. 119 for 5. Four days to go till the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2026 will be broadcast far and wide across the globe. Star Sports and Geo Hotstar and India Sky in the UK and the Republic of Ireland, Australia, Amazon Prime, and just have a look at which part of the world you're in for the next 3 weeks. But you will have the tournament coming to you. Network of your choice, screen of your choice. As far as Pacific Islands or Latin America or anywhere else in the world.
Catch!
Offside is all up inside the ring. Actually, just as I say that, mid-off goes back to a long off. Danny Gibson is very good through extra cover. Georgia Ann's going to want to angle this ball back into her pads.
I actually think she just forgot she had to drop back because there was no other fielder that came in.
Bit of a whoopsie, but got away with one. Probably not where you want to forget as well to Danny Gibson, because she is good at hitting to that long off and extra cover region.
And I think Wareham realised it because she's going to toss it up and off stump, and Gibson didn't get all of it, so it was a dot ball, but she just said, "What are you doing inside the circle?"
Yeah, Sutherland would have been in big trouble there if that had gone over her head, that first delivery. Got to be on it as a fielder. Can't just leave it up to your captain, new captain, Sophie Molyneux. Australia have been pretty faultless in the field, haven't they? They always are. They set the standards pretty much with everything, back ball and in the field, but most importantly in the field. Don't ever really see any slip-ups.
That's what she was looking for, Gibson. There's no one back there. Good over so far, but England needed a boundary. They found one.
Yeah, really nice from Gibson. Realised that offside is inside the ring. Got the length she wanted as well. Wareham would want to be a little bit fuller than that. Nice to see Danny Gibson just play with a little bit of fluency. I felt early part of the summer she looked a little bit uneasy about how she was going with it with the bat. Back from a back injury. Just nice to see a little bit more fluent out there.
Well, all things considered, that's a really good over for the 17th from Wareham. Just 6 off. 1-2-5 for 5. Yeah, you mentioned that they rarely slip up in the field, which is why when you saw 2 high-profile drop chances in the semi-final in Navi Mumbai in the ODI Women's World Cup, we were gobsmacked. Jamie Rodrigues, perhaps one of the most memorable innings played in the history of the game. Talia McGrath. Healy who dropped Rodrigues, and Talia McGrath dropped her as well. That's all in the past. Although Indian fans would relive it every day. She's been busy, Sophie Molyneux, but she's not taken the ball herself. And we're into the 18th over of the innings. 7 bowlers so far, but not the captain.
No, coming back from a back injury herself. Maybe just giving that a little bit of a rest before the tournament starts. Kim Garth, in my opinion, is such an underrated bowler. She caused havoc in that Women's Ashes, that whitewash a couple of years ago, more so in the 50 over format, but her accuracy is so key. Doesn't have the pace, she gets lovely shape up top, will bring the ball back in, and her skills at the death are impeccable. Just shows, after just saying, hadn't seen any fumbles, just a little one there from the skipper Molyneux. Just so it shows, if you don't quite have the pace, say someone like Lauren Filer, Darcy Brown, who's not in this squad, then that's when you have to be even sharper with your skills, because you don't quite have the pace to sort of hide the consistency, whereas Kim Garth pretty much nails it every single time. We've seen that in the men's game as well, haven't we? Ollie Robinson coming back into the English side. England went for an all-out pace attack down under the Ashes and didn't quite work out for them. So you need to have a bit of variety in your attack as well. Kim Garth away swing, Megan Schutt in swing, and then they've got all the spinners to go with it as well.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, the hallmark of the Australian team is they don't leave any base uncovered. Spin hitting, pace hitting, seamers that can bowl pace off, seamers that an extra bit of pace, swing with the new ball, left arm spin off spin, the leg spin. That's where you got to beat Australia on your way to winning a tournament.
Yeah, just like that. She nails the Orca right in the block count for Freya Kemp, and she's just changed things up here. Freya Kemp has realised that actually the Australian bowlers have been going across her, but Kim Garth is one step ahead here. That's where she goes for the leg stump Yorker. Just surprises Freya Kemp, because Freya Kemp will be setting up for that ball going across her, so when it comes in full and into that back leg, she doesn't look as comfortable. So good, clever bit of bowling there from Garth. 2 straight, long off and long on the boundary.
Multiple runs. These 2. And they've pulled it back last couple of overs. Overs 15 and 16 went for 30. And Wareham conceding just 6, and Kim Garth's been exceptional in this over. Dead bowling skills, mixing the pace and nailing the Yorker. It's kept Freya Kemp quiet. She was striking at nearly 200 not long ago. It's down to 150 now. Top class. Really good from Garth. Only 5 of the 18th over. England 130 for 5.
England's 130 for 5. 2 overs remaining in this innings, and now bowling at the Cathedral Road at 63, Ash Gardner.
Ashley Gardner from the Cathedral Road end. Another change up from Sophie Molyneux, just trying to change around her bowlers here.
Neatly done from Kemp. So waited for it and timed it to perfection.
This isn't Freya Kemp's preferred option, but with long off and long on out on the boundary, she plays this really well, because actually when you go for the reverse sweep and then it's really full, it's quite hard to adjust. And what she did so well was she didn't try and get out of that shot, she actually still committed to the shot, got the placement perfectly.
Yeah, and didn't try to overhit it. She's growing confidence in this innings, and
Nice, Ash.
handy asset to have for this England side.
Yeah, and it's amazing actually just what a couple of games do, and also the backing of your coach, and she'll probably know that she is going to be in that 11 come that first game on Friday. I don't think Freya Kemp would have played that shot in the first couple of games of this summer, but actually that confidence that is growing in her, having the backing of her side, really good couple of innings under her belt as well, just showing that she's thinking of things sort of as they happen. She's not premeditating, and you can just see that confidence growing.
That's why England is such a dangerous side, especially in conditions at home. Got Kemp and Capsey in serious form. Got experience in the form of Heather Knight and Danny Wyatt-Hodge, and you know Nat Sciver-Brunt, even if she takes a few games. Be shocked if this tournament ends without Nat Sciver-Brunt having a big say.
Ashley Gardner just trying to go for a wide plan here against Danny Gibson. She's changing things up just as I say that. And Danny Gibson for a moment didn't think that the umpire was going to give that a wide. And luckily enough she did.
Terrific ball striking this towards the back end. Predominantly Freya Kemp, but this time Gibson with a long handle.
Ashley Gardner changed the plan. She was going for the wide plan, couple of wides. She came back over the wicket, went straight. And Danny Gibson, just one step ahead, knew exactly what was coming. And even with a deep mid-wicket, she knows that she's got the power to clear the fielders on the ropes. Nice little partnership, this 45 of 28 deliveries.
Up and over the offside now. Excellent batting this. It's an expensive over, 17 already, the best of the innings, and still 2 balls to go. Gardner under pressure.
Yeah, and this is what we've seen from Danny Gibson in the domestic game here in England, and also in the WBBL and also the WPL. Hasn't quite done it internationally yet. But has the power to find the boundary.
Nice, Ash.
Also can hit those different areas as well.
Yeah, she dropped one fielder back as a result of that boundary in the offside. 50 partnerships come up in quick time. Set Gardner under pressure, not really, never shows on her face. And it's only a warm-up anyway, but you set your own goals and how you're going to get out of an expensive over. Repeat of the reverse sweep this time. Fielder at short third does well. The best over of the innings so far, 19 of the 19th, and England are 149 for 5.
England just built nicely, actually, after a pretty slow start in that power play. 30 for 3 England were. They kept losing consistent wickets, and then they built with Alice Capsey and Heather Knight in the middle. And they built again when they lost Heather Knight, but actually it's been Freya Kemp and Danny Gibson who played really well over the last 3 or 4 overs. 51 partnership of 31 balls for Gibson and Kemp. So after a slow start for England, a little bit of rebuilding in the middle, 1 over left. If they can try and get up to 165 here, have a big finish, that'd be a good score.
Eventually there will be a single on. 150 comes up. All goes well for the side, regardless of the result today. You know that you've got players in form that can bail you out of tricky situations. Capsey has shown that. Kemp and Gibson now. Oppositions will take note as well. They're never quite on top, and we've gone through England's deep batting lineup.
Yeah, and that's why having these 2 batters who are out in the middle at the moment is so important. I feel that previously at the last couple of World Cups, that batting or lineup hasn't been quite long enough. Just purely because they haven't had the all-rounders, Danny Gibson and also Freya Kemp, both coming back from stress fractures in their backs. So actually they haven't had them available. That's why almost I was banging on about it at the start of the summer. Both of these players have to play, just because it makes that batting lineup longer. No Charlie Dean today, she's going to come back in for that first game. by having that long batting order, which Australia do, by having so many all-rounders, that allows the batters in the middle to keep going hard and not go into their shells.
Sometimes that's not the easiest ball to put away. It was a high full toss. How high the umpires consider. Legitimate, I think, but well done on Kemp to find the boundary.
Yeah, this looked close to a no ball for me, and that looks pretty high above the waist height. It's a pretty good shot as well from Freya Kemp, because when it does go so high, sometimes you can just get it on the slice of the bat. It's a really good shot from Kemp. Probably just 50-50 whether that was a no ball, but she put it away well.
This one does not have the distance and is comfortably taken by Wareham at long on. So Freya Kemp's had an impact. She would have enjoyed that innings, a breezy innings here. And she eventually falls for 41.
Yeah, I think this is a slower ball from Annabelle Sutherland, just taking the pace off it, getting it across out of the arc of Freya Kemp. An easy catch there for one of Australia's best fielders, Georgia Wareham. Freya Kemp once again getting England out of trouble, striking quickly. She has to go for 41 of 27 deliveries. England are now 155 for 6. Sophie Eccleston coming into bat. Sometimes we've seen Charlie Dean, she's not playing today, come in above Sophie Eccleston. Actually, I feel that they need to use Sophie Eccleston as a finisher a little bit more often, England. No questions here, a couple of balls left to go. She can go from ball 1.
She's got to. Right, 2 balls to go. Here's Eccleston. It's not the worst result. You get Gibson on strike, who's striking at 173. All things considered, England have done well. It was a tough power play. They've had 2 significant partnerships, given them something to fight. Again, it is a warm-up game, but you want to try and put yourself in real-time situations. You can't hit that, no matter how good you are or how much you've been batting in the middle. So good finish from Sutherland, 8 runs and a wicket of the final over. Appreciated by her teammates. Australia, after putting England in this warm-up game here at Cardiff, have managed to keep them to 157 for 6.
Yeah, Australia will probably feel the happier of the 2 sides after that first innings. Feel the 158 just might be slightly short of par, maybe 170 here in particular with Australia's batting. But actually, England and Charlotte Edwards herself will be really happy with how they finished that innings. After 30 for 3 in the power play, you can see her big pat on the back there for her all-rounder Danny Gibson. So England will take a little bit of momentum into the second innings.
Yeah, not much from the top order, including the returning Nat Sivabrunt, because Australia were right on the money in the power play. Megan Schutt and Kim Garth. Now Lana King also with an over in the power play, accounting for Sivabrunt, but response was good from the middle order. Capsey 45, Heather Knight with support, and then Freya Kemp 41 with Gibson in support, as England finish 157 for 6.
Yeah, and Australia's bowling attack doing what they do so well. Megan Schutt starting with that new ball in her last T20 World Cup, 2 wickets for her. Kim Garth once again was so accurate, so economical under 7s. Alana King, who's actually probably not going to get into the Australian 11, picking up 2 wickets, and Sutherland again finishing so well at the death, picking up 1 wicket. But Australia's bowlers, they'll be pretty happy with that. No Sophie Molyneux today, just recovering from an injury. Will we see her in the next warm-up game before the T20 World Cup?
Well, Australia choosing the ball first, and boy, they bowl well at the top. Kim Garth cleaning out Danny Wyatt-Hodge, middle stump out of the ground. Disappointed with that. Experienced Wyatt-Hodge. And Megan Schutt added more misery, the wicket of Amy Jones. Simplest of catches to Talia McGrath. It's just too easy in the power play for Australia. England in a bid to try and blaze away at the start. Just could not find their timing. It was about to get worse. Sophie Molyneux threw the ball to Alana King, 5th over. She got one to skid past Nat Sivabrandt, the England captain. Left England rattled, 19 for 3. It was all smiles at that time, the green and gold of Australia. Then came a response, counter punch from Alice Capsey, who continues her rich run of form. After playing a decisive hand in the series decider against India, she had her opportunity early on. A tough one from Beth Mooney down the leg side. Once she got going, found the gaps with ease, and this augurs so well, Tash, for England.
Yeah, once again, just keeping things simple, playing down the ground so well, and then if she got any length to work with, that's when she put it away to the longer boundary square of the wicket here. She looks so composed and calm, but actually, just even when she starts her innings, she's moving her feet so well, and that was a little bit of a tricky one there for Alice Capsey. I think she'll be pretty disappointed with that. How far down the wicket she got. The line was good, but was that going over the stumps? Alice Capsey will feel pretty hard done by that, but she'll also feel pretty happy with her work as well. 45 off 36. Another really good innings for her, and you just feel she cemented her place in this England 11 now.
I think she might have a polite word with Jackie Williams at the end of the day. But on the one hand, you had Capsey finding the boundary, and she had the steady presence of Heather Knight on the other, who swept and reverse swept to great effect. That's what England have trusted the experience and class of Heather Knight with. That's why she's still valuable. As it turns out, reverse sweep was one that led to her downfall against Alana King. And they still had ammunition to offer, did England, in spite of losing Capsey and Heather Knight. Freya Kemp played the most entertaining innings towards the end.
Yeah, and she's proving so important for England going forward. How long have England looked for that middle-order left-handed batter since Lydia Greenway? Far too long. And actually what she did really well today, we all know how strong she can hit down the ground straight. But actually she was able just to get a little bit of confidence, played the reverse sweep a couple of times. Just feel that she's so important in how England finished the batting innings. She ran well with Danny Gibson. She's looking a real good prospect for England. Yeah, speaking of Gibson, she's looked a little nervy with the bat so far in the English summer, but actually she's got that first delivery from Megan Schutt, which probably just relaxed those nerves. And what she did really well was she accessed both sides of the wicket, but more so for me, it's how she played through the offside. When Australia brought the offside up, she was able to get it through and also over the top. So really good to see her getting a little bit of form with that first game in a couple of days.
So as a result of England's innings, Australia will need 158 to just under 8 runs and over, and that run chase in this first warm-up game for both teams here in Cardiff is coming up very shortly. most glorious conditions here at the Sapphire Gardens in Cardiff, capital city of Wales. Warm-up action between England and Australia. And Australia need 158 to get the win. 6-time champions. But with their high standards ahead of this tournament and a considerable drought of silverware. So they'd be delighted to get one up against England. The firm favourites themselves when the tournament comes our way, and when it does, we will bring it to you. The ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2026 will be broadcast, will be streamed far and wide across the subcontinent, Far East and the Pacific, West and the Americas, on linear television and digital platforms. Take your pick, depending on which part of the world you're in. Biggest ever edition of this tournament with 12 teams. Broadcast promises to reach millions of fans. In case we've missed your territory, right there at the end, it's on ICC.tv as well. Four days' time before England are in action in the opening game against Sri Lanka at Edgbaston. "33 games, 2 tough groups. It's an open World Cup, but it is a World Cup where the home team will be well supported, well positioned, you'd think, with the strength of their resources, the return of their captain, who plays such a big part in their fortunes, does Nat Silverbrunt, and I'm sure, even though we might see her just as a batter, Matt, in the early parts of the tournament, by her own admission, the minute the stakes get higher and the body feels a little more comfortable and returning from injuries, she won't shy away from taking ball in hand. Because you know it's not going to be easy. If England are to defend, or go all the way, rather defend a proud record of winning every home World Cup, 50 and 20 over formats, they'll have to get past defending champions New Zealand. Never rule out the West Indies, who did pull one up over them in the last edition of this tournament. Ireland and Scotland, in what I'd imagine would be a pretty good atmosphere.
Oh, they will, for sure. Absolutely, those games will be. And although we've been talking about perhaps England being the slightly easier group, well, they would have thought that in 2024, and they didn't make it through to the semi-finals. West Indies knocked them out there, so they'll fancy their chances again of upsetting one of either England or New Zealand. Ireland have just beaten the West Indies for the first time, so they will be very, very confident. And then, of course, Group A, you've got the big three, really, of Australia, India and South Africa. You would think that it's between those three and one will miss out. But, you know, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Netherlands for the first time, we don't know what we're going to get. So anything could happen, really, in T20 cricket. It's not like 50 over cricket, where it's a little bit more predictable as to the rankings and the form book. And I think that's why everyone's saying this is the most wide open T20 World Cup, or World Cup in the women's game, we've ever had. And a lot of that is down to Australia just have lost their aura of dominance, and, you know, not getting to 2 finals in a row, 2 world tournaments, the last 50 over World Cup, the last 20 over World Cup, just has given the rest a real boost. And this Australian side is still very, very strong. You still would have them as possibly the favourites or top 2 favourites, but you wouldn't be surprised anymore if they don't lift the trophy, which is great for the game.
And now here come England, led by Nat Silverbrunt.
This might be a warm-up, but it's still England against Australia. And these sides will be desperate to just get some kind of a psychological edge, because they could well meet in the semi-finals or final. And that could be important. Any personal battles that you can win, bowler over batter, batter over bowler, you can lead those in to the knockout games. And I wonder if Nat Silverbrunt is going to bowl. because she said to you, Ronick, at the toss, she said, you pointed out, you were marking your run-up, and she said, well, I was doing that for the wicket-keeper, Amy Jones, and I wasn't quite sure what she meant by that, whether it was to help her where she was standing or whether she actually was going to bowl. What was your take on that?
Well, as much as I admire Nat Silverbrand, I mean, I don't think she's going to deceive me. Should have just said she'll bowl. But it was curious to learn that Amy Jones, instead of marking her own guard where she'd like to stand, actually prefers the exact, I say exact to the T, the measurement of Nat Silverbrand's bowling mark. So there you go, there's something new we learned from two experienced internationals. Here's another experienced international, Lauren Bell. Just goes about her job like a machine with the new ball. When you've got middling score, which this is, 158, so often the start that Lauren Bell gives you keeps you in the game. She'll have to take down one of the world's best in Beth Mooney. Decorated cricketer for Australia. Georgia Vols at the other end. Here we go. Slightly unconventional offside field that Nat Silverbrand employed for that first ball, not a standard slip. There were close catches on the offside behind and in front of square.
Well, this is going to be an exciting start, I can tell you that. You don't want to take your eyes off this because you've got the two top-ranked batters in the world in T20, Georgia Voll and Beth Mooney, up against an England side that have got 4 of the top 6 ranked bowlers. Two real strengths going up against each other. What's going to come out on top? This power play could go a long way to deciding this match. Just lost her radar slightly there. But Lauren Bell has become a sort of totem really for this side over the last few years with the ball. Very tall, very consistent. And she gets power play wickets, which is so important in T20. You need to have someone who's got that incisiveness, which Australia have as well, with Megan Shute, Kim Garth, we saw earlier.
Yeah, and she's got the wind going for her as well. It's angled across from right to left of your screen from the end that Lauren Bell is bowling. So natural shape away from the right-hander will bring the outside edge into play, will bring Heather Knight's slip into play. She's got a deep point. It's not a conventional deep third there, the one fielder there right at the edge of your screen, and a deep fine leg. Deep point is called in. It's the other thing that holds England in good stead, their understanding of dimensions of various grounds, positions to keep your two fielders. That's why, speaking to a lot of former India cricketers, I think Australia and New Zealand as defending champions, South Africa with their marked improvement in ICC events, but England in England is a different beast. That's what they all hold in high regard, how good this team is at home. That's a stunning shot. Just so easy from Mooney. And picks up her first boundary.
Picks up is exactly right. That was a real pickup, wasn't it, over the leg side. Went well in front of square because she knew that the one fielder on the leg side boundary was behind square, so she had to go in front or risk holding out. Just a really well executed, controlled shot, even though it was up and over. Savvy shot. She knew exactly where the field was, where the gap was.
Fielders move so slightly in front of square now. It was a deep backward square, it's now a deep square leg, you'd think.
And you mentioned it being a home World Cup for England, Ronick, and you're exactly right. It's an amazing stat, really, that England have never not won a home Cricket World Cup in the women's game. And that goes back a long way, actually. 1973, the first home World Cup they won. 93, 2017 and 2009 T20.
In spite of the boundary, it's good from Bell. 7 without loss after the first, Australia.
So I don't think that puts pressure on England necessarily to keep it going, because it is a bit of a quirky stat, but I think it should give you confidence, really, because it shows the value of playing in home conditions in front of a home crowd. And I still remember 2017 really well, and those amazing scenes at Lord's, that incredible final against India, and the crowd played a big part in that, even though there were a lot supporting India.
That was a seminal tournament for the women's game. That semi-final at Derby in India and Australia that led to even more eyeballs for a final, and it was a final that was fitting for the occasion. Anya Shrupsel's 6-foot that just pulled the World Cup, snatched it almost from India's hands.
That has swung a long way, hasn't it? Very late too. Throw comes in, hits the stumps. Yes, Georgieville, that's right. That swung a long way. Too much.
It's almost a smile of disbelief from Wall on how late she is on this. Just have a look at how far the bat is from the ball. Deceived by the movement and the pace, dare I say. She's been ready for the next one. It's actually a shame you don't get that one bang on line. So that was a first that pitched just a bit straighter. She was in business with the LBW.
She's got real pace, Lauren Filer. If she can swing the ball as well, she can be a real dangerous package. But just going back to those World Cups played over here, and I think also that the English side will be looking at other sports too. And for example, in rugby, they had a World Cup here. The Red Roses won the World Cup in front of a huge crowd, did immense amounts for women's rugby over here. Of course, you've got the Lionesses, the England women's football team, who won the Euros here a couple of years ago, which has transformed women's football. And even though England have done it before in cricket, I think doing it again now, the higher profile, they've seen what it can do for other sports. I think it would be an immense shot in the arm. And you know, those scenes we saw in 2017, we could get even better than that.
You throw in the immense experience that 5 editions of the Women's 100 has also given. First home World Cup since the inception of the 100. And plays no small part in batters, just players at home. And great situational awareness on how to take charge of any match situation in a T20 game. Oh, it flew past the fielder at point. It was Danny Wyatt-Hodge at point, and before she knew it, that ball was past her.
She got a hand on it. Yeah, decent hand on it. Goes right through the hands. She needed a couple more inches there, Danny Wyatt-Hodge. Needed someone a little bit taller. Could have maybe got up there a bit quicker, but I think that goes down as a chance. It's right at the middle, but you can get 2 hands to it.
Well, Georgia Wald's on the ground and the ball is beyond the boundary. That's pretty good from Wall to try and put Lauren Filer off.
Yeah, well executed scoop shot in the end, and he almost sort of knocked her off her feet in the end, but got enough bat on it. And it'll be interesting to see what this shot now does to Lauren Filer's lengths after this, because that is the purpose of playing it.
And again in the air, agonizingly close to the fielder. She was playing with fire in that over was ball. She's still out there.
Seemed to hang in the air for ages, this one, didn't it? A despairing dive. I think it was Danny Gibson, mid-wicket, coming across. But that would have been a bit of a bonus, really. Would have been a batter mistake if she'd holed out there. Those early wickets that Australia got really handcuffed England, didn't they, in their innings? And England will be hoping for more of the same, especially with these two here, Mooney and Vol. You don't get them early, they can score very quickly, particularly Vol, who's off the back of her first T20 international century in the Caribbean recently, which has boosted her up the rankings to the very top. Super talented youngster, future of Australian cricket, you'd say, at the top of the order. Alongside the veteran, it's a nice combo, left-right as well.
That fielder's been kept busy. I bet Mooney. Freya Kemp this time keeps it to 2.
Yeah, Freya Kemp was behind square the previous over, so she played the short in front of square. This time was toying with the fielder. She goes behind square, makes it run around, do the work.
I did mention she just quietly goes about her business. She's one of the most celebrated cricketers of this Australian generation, is Beth Mooney. She's a run machine, ridiculously efficient. Goes about her business without breaking a sweat, doesn't talk much. And that'll be at least 2. Struck as well as Mooney would have liked. Has said famously before she prefers the company of dogs over humans. No complaints from me, I can understand that.
I think my girlfriend would agree with that, to be honest. Currently at home with a dog that we're looking after. She seems to love more than me at the moment. Beth Mooney showing some real intent early on here. She's trying to upset the lengths of the bowlers. I always think that Beth Mooney reminds me a bit of the female Mike Hussey. That sort of same Australian tough, gritty left-hander, just gets on with the job, extremely reliable, can bat anywhere in the order, can bat opening number 4, number 5 like Mike Hussey. I don't know why, I've always just linked those two players.
Georgia Vol now. WPL teammates, both Lauren Bell and Georgia Vol. Part of title winning side for RCB. 2026 edition of the Women's Premier League. They're in the game here, England. All they need is the breakthrough. Not allowed Australia to get off to a flyer. I think Georgia Vol might need a moment to just see whether she's all right. That one went onto the helmet, but Beth Mooney called her in for a single. 21 without loss after 3.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to send the physio on here. Maybe just a bit of a top edge into the body or something like that.
Check to bowling for England and the Cathedral Road 21, Sydney 14 bowler.
Right, Right, let's have a look at a replay of that previous delivery. Top edge, is it? Or glove? Yeah, it just kind of goes up into the body and just touches the grill. No need for the physio to come on for that. Saw a similar one actually, didn't we? Who was it? It was Jemima Rodriguez, I think it was, in India's game against West Indies, where she top edged the sweep, just glanced the helmet, but they came on anyway just to check she was okay. And still a bit chilly in the shade. Here we go then. The 18-year-old Tilly Courtine-Coleman, fresh from making her T20 international and ODI debut in the last couple of weeks. Big talent.
Yeah, and a big part of the daily plan, so to speak, mentioned by Nancy Vibrant at the toss on the primary objectives of this warm-up game, maybe the next, is see how Tilly Courtine-Coleman goes and how strong a case she presents.
Oh, yes, Tilly.
Of course, Lindsay Smith has been near unplayable in recent weeks. Fittingly at the top of bowling rankings. Courtine-Coleman, the unknown element. And Georgia Wall looks to stamp her authority. Got the height without the distance. She's lost her bat in the process as well, halfway.
Nice, Till.
Yeah, she'll need that for the next ball. Good intent. She didn't get all of it though, at all. When she hits it, it stays hit. More of a pitching wedge, that one. This is a good test for Tilly Courtine-Coleman in the power play. It's the #1 ranked batter at the moment. It's going to go after her. Good way to learn. Really good so far. She's dotting up Vol here. 4 dots out of 5. Sense there could be a big shot coming here, this final ball.
Goes again. Again, there's a lot of height and just enough distance from Wall. It's not a bad over, but Wall finishes it with 6. 29 without loss.
Much more controlled this time. She checked the drive, didn't she? And got a lot more power, a much better connection. That's a gorgeous shot, that. Any youngsters watching, that's the way to hit over the top, down the ground. Doesn't try to overhit, right out the middle. Just made sure she got to the pitch of it.
Change bowling for England at the referent 19, Sophie Eccleston.
Well, we're back here in a couple of days as India take on England. That'll be the game in the morning, 9:50 a.m. local time. And then the West Indies and Australia. That'll be the last round of warm-up games for all those teams before real business commences. So Wednesday, with us here in Wales. Join us for more warm-up action. Left arm spin from both ends. Here's Sophie Eccleston.
Oh, yes, I football.
Yeah, Sophie Eccleston, no longer the best bowler in the world according to the rankings, that she's been usurped by Lindsay Smith, but I think she's still the one that England look to get important breakthroughs, and that's why 144 wickets in 106 games, excellent economy as well, pretty much 6.
Yeah, Wall just keeping an eye on the two fielders out, both on the leg side, long on and deep mid-wicket. That's why Eccleston's offering her no room.
Nice,
2 overs of spin inside the power play. Still say it's Stevens, even though Australia without loss. Have been opportunities, half chances. Beth Mooney was dropped early, tough chance. Danny Wyatt-Hodge at point. Required rate is 8. Always add a wicket or two to the score and gives you an idea of which team's in front. Australia started so well, England were on the back foot. And on the front foot is Beth Mooney. Just gives Eccleston the charge, clears mid-on, maximises the field restrictions.
Looked like she went quite early there. Knew that mid-on was up, and that was always the plan. Just bunt it over the top. Didn't get all of it, but didn't matter. Just needed to get it up and over. Make sure it doesn't come off the inside portion of the bat and skew out to deep mid-wicket. This is what Australia would want, is Beth Mooney on strike to the left arm spinner spinning into her. Tilly Courtine-Coleman couldn't close out her over. Can Sophie Eccleston?
It's well controlled by Mooney, just looking for placement, but excellent bit of work. The fielder at mid-off. 5 gone, Australia 36 without loss.
Australia 36 without loss, so 1 over left in the power play. Returning for England at the Cathedral Road at 82, Laura Feiler.
Relatively untroubled. Australia so far, 17 apiece for Mooney and Vol. Lauren Feiler, who I thought caused 1 or 2 issues in her opening over. Bit of extra pace and movement. Not so for Beth Mooney, who treats the first delivery back with great disdain. Up and over the top of extra cover. Glorious start to the over for Australia.
Doesn't look like she's facing 70 plus miles an hour, does it? Little shimmy down the wicket. Very good towards that long off region as well. And actually, she'll probably want to face most of the balls here from Lauren Feiler. You feel that Lauren Feiler is a better bowler to the right-hander. I was really impressed with the amount of in-swing she got as well in that first over. Could she have bowled another one? She's going to have tough work here against Beth Mooney, one of the best batters in the world.
All loose. Going round the wicket. A wide, full toss. Dispatched once more from Beth Mooney. That's a gift.
And she's earned that gift, hasn't she, by just charging down the wicket, the first delivery against Lauren Feiler. And that's where she gets that length as well. Doesn't even use the pitch there, Lauren Feiler. And that is Beth Mooney's favoured region, that point region.
You see, I realise it's a warm-up game and you've got to try things, and this is where to try things. I understand that. I'd love to have seen Lauren Feiler get another over after her first. I don't know why she didn't. Had Australia just hopping about a little bit. There was swing. There was a little bit of extra pace and that feel for the game. Give her another one, you know, straight after that, rather than it felt as though they'd got a preset plan. That's how it felt to me anyway. Helped on its way, and now the boundaries are flying. The extra pace of Feiler, the 50 is up for Australia. All the way it goes, short of a length. And Mooney is cashing in.
Yeah, you've got to realise the moment, and also the way that your bowlers are bowling, and the way that Lauren Feiler bowled in that first over, the amount of swing that she was getting wasn't just the pace. I haven't seen her get that extravagant swing that we saw in her first over. But now, last over of the power play, very hard over to bowl. Lauren Feiler won't have bowled this over many times in her career before. There won't be any swing on the ball either. That shine will be well off the ball by now. Just a little mothers meeting going on between Lauren Feiler, the skipper who's back in the side, Nat Siver Brunt, Danny Gibson, someone that England see as a potential leader going forward?
Well, the field is a deep backward point, or a very wide deep third, and a deep backward square. So the suggestion is Laura Feiler's going to be bowling back of a length. I thought she was pretty dangerous when she actually bowled that nudge fuller.
And I watched her actually play for Durham. We haven't seen her in England colours actually this summer so far, so she was released and played for Durham. Something that I actually think England have done better. Players that aren't in the 11, getting them some games in the county system that we have now, which is so good for the players. And I watched her bowl at the Oval on a green surface, and actually I saw that huge in-swing that we saw in that first over, and you just feel England have missed a trick by holding her back.
Oh, has she got a little edge? Yes, she has. Heard a noise. Vol trying that little ramp again. Didn't quite come off the surface as quickly as she'd like. And Amy Jones gratefully received the catch, and Vol departs.
Well, I've seen Vol hit a beautiful shot against Feiler earlier on, but that one just looked like it stopped in the wicket. It was a little bit shorter as well than the one that she got away. So I don't mind the option from Vol, but well done to Lauren Feiler, bowling a hard over there. Last over of the power play. Vol has to go for 17. Australia lose their first wicket. They're 51 for 1.
So, players just having a little break, and it's time for a drink.
Six overs have been completed. Australia 51 for 1. The power play is done. New batter for Australia, number 8, Elise Perry. Power play is done, and here comes a brand new bowler for England now at the River at 73, Freya Kemp.
Go on, Kempy.
Freya Kemp into the attack for the first, and she might have a wicket first up. Oh, just shelled, parried over the bar. Danny Gibson, I think it is, out on that boundary edge. It was so cleanly struck by Mooney. That's a long part of the ground as well.
Just slightly off the rope there, Danny Gibson. From afar, it looked like she made a great effort there, but actually, if she had been on the rope and got that positioning slightly better, then actually that could have been a comfortable catch. She could have just gone with 2 hands and hold her position there.
Slap down the ground. She's not got all of this high on the bat. Will be a couple. I agree with you, Tash. And she just got her positioning slightly wrong, and as acrobatic as it was, I think had she been on that rope and setting herself, that would have been comfortable.
And it is a big hit, so I understand why she is slightly off the rope, but actually she should also realise that the wind is blowing that way as well. So as soon as she saw it in the air, and actually you could almost tell as a fielder how well she's cleanly hit that ball, she had just held her position a bit longer.
Which gives us an opportunity to welcome the new batter to the crease. Elise Perry, as if she needs an introduction. And that helmet tells you all you need to know about Elise Perry's batting. It's faded from the sun, which means she spends a long time out in the middle, whatever the format. What a record. One of the few players to be involved in every edition of the Women's T20 World Cup from its outset.
And she's still going strong, isn't she? Saw her in the field, just running long on every over. Still so athletic. It's a worrying sign, that faded helmet, for any bowler around the world.
Oh yeah, that's Elise Perry. In her arc, lovely flow of the bat and easy movements of the arms and the hands. Picks it up so simply. Her first boundary, first runs.
This is just pure class from Elise Perry. Over pitched from Freya Kemp. Mid on inside the ring as well, even though Lauren Bell's a very tall figure, she was going to get nowhere near that. And actually, Elise Perry, someone who has been left out of the Australian T20 side a couple of years ago, and she had that hunger still to make sure she needed to up that strike rate of hers, and you just saw a great example of that shot there. And Freya Kemp just changing the field, third inside the ring, fine leg back.
Just leans back, should be a couple. Comfortably taken, end of an expensive over. 15 runs coming from it, 66 for 1. It's almost the unspoken nature of the faded helmet. I do spend a long time out here, it seems to suggest to bowlers. But you're 100% right, and you've got to doff your cap to any cricketer who, even though she's widely considered as one of the best ever in the women's game, if not the best ever, it takes a lot for a player of her experience to turn around and try and reinvent herself in a different format.
Yeah, and actually, you know, you wouldn't sort of blame her if at that point in her career she was thought, okay, I'll just play ODI and test matches. I won't worry too much about T20 cricket for Australia, but that just shows how hungry she is to play all formats and be the very best batter that she is. First time we're going to see Alice Capsey with the ball this summer for England.
Yeah, good opportunity actually to get a couple of overs under the belt for Capsey.
Do you know what the funny thing is, Daggers, is actually she's the backup wicket keeper in this side now. She's having a little bowl. So if Amy Jones was to go down at any point in this World Cup, Alice Capsey would have to don the wicket keeping gloves. So she quite literally is the genuine all-rounder that England has, does all three facets of the game.
England will be happy to see her just bowl.
Oh, nice cap,
It's going back to Perry. I remember relatively early when I started covering the women's game, going out to the 2013 50 over World Cup in India. And arguably one of the best spells of bowling I can remember in the women's game, her performance in the final on a broken ankle. And back then she was very much seen as a bowler who batted. And now the roles are completely reversed. Which again is testament to the quality and the work and the ethic that she has. Good hand. Went down a little bit in stages there, Lauren Bell. Do enjoy the colour-matched shades as well.
I'm very glad that England are now in their red trousers, because the blue trousers that they were wearing earlier on in the summer didn't match the sleeves and it was stressing us all out.
Yep, didn't go. And you'd think that something so benign would... Oh, that's sloppy. Really sloppy. Especially from the skip. Allowed Australia through for a single. The strangest thing stresses out, doesn't it, Tash?
I think it was you and Simon Doull that just couldn't quite get over the slightly darker trousers. I felt that actually that it was just the big reveal for the red trousers.
It's far better now. The stress has gone. Oh, and Alice Capsey manages to make the breakthrough. England's genuine all-rounder scuttles one past the Mooney defences.
Nonchalant celebration as well from Alice Capsey. Almost didn't realise that that was the wicket because she hadn't celebrated. Just full, straight and slightly quicker from Capsey, who's in great form with the bat. And now she's got the ball. First over, picking up the huge wicket of Beth Mooney, goes for 43 off 26. Australia lose their second, it's 70 for 2.
Eight overs gone. Alice Capsey made the breakthrough. A really good first over for her. 1 for 4. As Ash Gardner comes to the crease. 7 half centuries, which is a high quality player. Is the Aussie vice captain. I know England have returned to arguably their biggest threat in Sophie Eccleston. Uppish and almost taken. It's Bell again at backward point. And if anyone was going to reach it, it was going to be her.
Well, no one else would have got anywhere near this because of the height that Lauren Bell possesses. Seen her take a couple of screamers actually in the last year or so. So tricky, full dive straight, and actually because it went straight behind her head, it's hard to pick up.
Yeah, sometimes they stick and sometimes they don't.
And potentially if that had gone slightly to the right of her, it might have been easier just to go with the right hand, but because it was straight behind her head, it's done well to get a hand on that. In fairness to Lauren Bell, she has really worked hard on her fielding. You feel that you really used to have to hide her in the field, but now you feel that you can count on her.
2 was the shout. It might even be 4. Yeah, it is. Beautiful piece of timing and footwork from Elise Perry, who's arrived at the crease in 5th gear.
And I think you mentioned it earlier, Daggers, in the previous game, actually, instead of trying to bludgeon it over the top the whole time, actually this outfield here at Cardiff is pretty quick and also a pretty long square as well, and that's exactly what Elise Perry will do. She can find the maximums, but actually she just favours to go along the floor just to get herself into the innings, get herself into good positions.
Fairly simple decision. Brilliant batting. Using the depth of the crease, almost taking it off the stumps. Elise Perry. Australia have got a pretty good record against Sophie Eccleston.
Yeah, and this is what you'll see teams do against Sophie Eccleston now. They are looking to target her, put some pressure on her. Because they've been hitting Eccleston well down the ground, actually, that's where she will give you a little bit of length to work with as well.
How late she played that. Dot ball to finish. 9 overs gone, Australia going nicely, 81 for 2. Yeah, there's been some chances for England. Felt Danny White-Hodge should have got to that, really. Danny Gibson maybe in a slightly better position. That last one from Lauren Bell. And these are the small percentages. Look, England have been a little bit questionable with their catching over the last couple of years. It's an area that has been worked on a lot. I realise again, just to underline the point, it is a warm-up game, but these are small percentage points that can, in the heat of a battle and a more meaningful game, they can change a game.
Yeah, and I actually think that you can see the difference when they play Australia. In particular, I felt that England's fielding has improved throughout this summer. The ODIs, they were not very good actually, and in the T20s they improved. But actually, I think they need to... Good bit of fielding there from Alice Capsey. She's been good in the field actually for England. She's really improved athletically in the field. I feel she's moving much better out there. And also when you're getting runs as an all-rounder, that is where your fielding can also improve too.
100%, I agree with you. I think she's really, really worked hard. And the results are showing. Lauren Filet tumbles over in a follow-through. She does that quite a lot. But Alice Capsey just realised that with that boundary rope, usually you have the sponges, and the will do when the World Cup starts proper, but realised that she had to let that go because her feet were just going to clip the boundary rope whilst the ball was in her hand. So it's good awareness of where she is.
Yeah, that's what you have to do as a boundary fielder. You can't rely on the captain or the keeper to tell you where you need to be. As your own person, you need to pick up the cues. How big is this boundary that I'm fielding on? Where's the wind going? Who is the batter facing this delivery? These are all things that you constantly have to be thinking about as a fielder, and you just can't, the captain can't think of everything. You can't rely on the skipper or the keeper. Keeper will be good at getting the angles right. As a fielder, you've got to take your own responsibility out there.
Head went up, just trickles past the leg stump. Elise Perry looks like she's got a restaurant reservation at around about 6:30. Going pretty hard at it at the moment.
Yeah, well, she's not messing about, but why would you when you've got Grace Harris, Annabelle Sutherland, Talia McGrath, Georgia Wareham, Sophie Molyneux, Nick Carey to come. Nick Carey carded to come in at number 10. So actually, for Australia, you don't need to take your time. You've got plenty of batting to come.
Signal one. I like the fact that Filer tried it. It's daunting, isn't it? All those names you keep reeling off.
What I would say, this is a warm-up game, so they're not going to be able to get that many batters into their side. They are playing their full squad today, pretty much.
Annabelle Sutherland looks really concerned with life at the moment, doesn't she?
It almost looks like going to charge. Whoever gets out there first is next in at the moment.
Dot ball, a decent over that from Lauren Filer. 6 runs coming from it. We're at the halfway stage and Australia comfortable at the moment. They need 71 from 10 overs.
71 runs to win this game from 60 balls.
Purple worm of Australia has been consistently ahead of England's green worm. England needs some more wickets to stunt it, bring it back towards where they need it to be. You would think from here, 10 overs to go, England might have to bowl Australia out if they're going to win this game. Tilly Courtine-Coleman back into the attack. First over went for 8. Tight first 5 deliveries, and the last ball was hit for 6 by Georgia Vole. The way Elise Perry's going after the bowling at the moment, you have to get her out, or it could be done quick. It's a nice shot again into the gap. So good at rocking back and cutting and playing through the offside. Feels a little bit like one of those days, Ronak, for England where there's a lot of near misses. You know, ball's almost going to hand, a couple of difficult chances not taken, the ball just dropping into space wide of the fielder. Sometimes when it's like that, you can start to feel like it's not your day. But they're not out of this yet. You just need to strike pretty quickly. Another big shot from Elise Perry. Over mid-on, he was up in the circle. It's another 4. She's now 24 off 14.
Yeah, taking charge of this chase now. One of the greats of the game. And she's coming with a mission to try and take down the bowling, putting pressure on Courtine-Coleman, a teenager nearly half her age. Tilly Courtine-Coleman was about 4 months old when Elise Perry made her international debut.
Thank God Elise isn't listening, because you're making her feel old there. Pretty sure she isn't, anyway, with an earpiece out there. She's batting like a whippersnapper at the moment. But I can't really remember Elise Perry coming out with this intent for a while, really. She's normally quite measured, isn't she? Strong, powerful hitter, but doesn't look to immediately go up there and dominate. Lovely. Really nice. Controlled from Ash Gardner. Yes, the check drive over the top for another boundary. That's a good one for Australia. 99 for 2.
Well, there's no tougher initiation for a young left-arm spinner just debuted the international stage to bowl to 2 of the world's best. And both of them just showing Courtine-Coleman who's in charge. Using her feet, this time Gardner. And Perry was power, Gardner was control. One of the best bat swings in the game. Ash Gardner, ridiculous ease. And an over that gives Australia 12 and takes them even closer to what is looking like a comfortable win in this warm-up game.
There's just something about a lovely check drive, lofted over mid-on, over long on, which is so pleasing on the eye, isn't it? A pure batting shot. When there's minimal effort, really, rather than trying to muscle it over, you just rely on your timing. Here comes Freya Kemp. Innovation from Perry, and that's missed everything, I think. It's going to be 4 byes. No, things are not going England's way at the moment. Required rate now, just over 6.
Yeah, 100 comes up as well. I think Perry showed her hand pretty early. It was premeditated. Just got into position. Kemp actually responded with the right ball. Just couldn't have keeper saving that.
A lot of the talk going into this tournament, and rightly so, we both said it as well, didn't we, that this is probably the most wide open T20 World Cup there's ever been, or been for a long time. And that in part is down to the fact that Australia have lost that aura of invincibility a little bit. They haven't made the finals of the last 2 world tournaments. It's come right at the middle as well. But the fact is, they're still the #1 ranked side, and by a distance. And their record since the last T20 World Cup, in T20 internationals, I think they've won 10 and lost 2. Admittedly, the 2 they lost were to India in Australia, which lost them the series. But they've been playing well. Still got an incredible squad. So I think really you've still got to look at them as the team to beat.
Yeah, I think the one thing we're learning now as we go from T20 World Cup to T20 World Cup, teams have to be sharp about what their plans are from one tournament to the next. And to a degree, it doesn't really matter what your bilateral form is like. Take New Zealand as an example. They entered the last edition of the tournament with some wretched form. Just completely turned things around in the tournament proper. Beat India. Went on to go all the way.
Good fielding. England's ground fielding has been pretty good overall. They've put down 2 or 3 tough chances, but good in the outfield. That's Tilly's Courtine Coleman there, getting down sharply.
Yeah, ground fielding's been pretty good, both inside the ring and on the boundary line. A couple of tough chances that they've put down, England.
Australia keep ticking off these runs. 50 needed from 48 now, 108 for 2. Well, if Australia do win this game, you think maybe that new ball burst that really set England back will be a big factor. England were 19 for 3, so they were always on the back foot trying to recover. Managed to get up to 157. That didn't happen to Australia. Mooney 43, Perry's now 28 not out. They are sitting pretty as it stands. 50 off 48 balls. You think the only way England can win this is to really to bowl Australia out, which would be a monumental achievement from here.
I really want to say stop it, Matt, again.
Pace off.
Yeah, the point you make is a good one, Matt. The impact of power play bowlers for Australia. The evidence of both games we've seen today at this ground. Batters that have got in have actually enjoyed themselves. There's not been that much on offer. Bounce has been reliable. It's come on nicely. Not a lot of turn. Been a good surface.
Going to pick up 2 more here. And you've got to remember, this is the second game of the day being played on. And hasn't really shown too many signs of holding up too much. In the past, whenever I've come here, I get the odd flat one, but quite often it does grip in the surface and it becomes harder in the middle overs. But we haven't seen too much evidence of that today. I think India got 179, and probably if they hadn't retired Yastik Bhatia, might well have got 200. Moves quickly, helps that up and over. Shouldn't go for 4. Good bit of fielding from Lauren Filer.
It actually becomes a slightly more difficult shot to execute when the length is as short as it was. Got to wait on it, as Perry did. Pull the trigger at just the right time. Might have Got that more of the toe end, but all she needed to do was clear short fine leg. And yes, she's looking for a boundary ball, is Elise Perry, in this innings. She's got it down to a runner ball.
Well, getting towards the end of her career, maybe she's just thinking, you know what, I'm going to have a bit of fun now. Very caution to the wind. I've done my time, I've done my hard work. I'm going to go out and swing from ball one. Although I suspect she won't be doing this every innings. She'll play it according to the conditions. But warm-up game, it's a good chance to have a go and try something different. Uppercut straight to the fielder, who takes a good catch. Danny Wyatt-Hodge out at deep point. Bit of luck there maybe for England. Wasn't really a ball that deserved the wicket, but he's got one.
Yeah, curious to see if she took the pace off on that one. No, not really. He was seam up, but into the wicket, just stuck a little bit. Gardner did well, just either side of the solitary fielder in the deep, and she would have found 4 instead. She's found Danny Wyatt-Hodge to perfection. 12 of 11 to Ash Gardner. Australia 113 for 3.
Here coming batter for Australia, 48, Grace Harris.
Center, please. Center, middle. Thank you. That's it? Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Coming over, one left.
Well, they keep on coming for Australia. Ash Gardner replaced by Grace Harris. Strike rate 155. One of the most aggressive batters in the world. Brought back into this Australia squad for this T20 World Cup.
Also one of the most entertaining characters in the game. In fact, it's an RCB party now. Harris and Perry one end, Lauren Bell with ball in hand, and Grace Harris is here. Ash Gardner managed to get a great deal of distance on that, but square boundaries is where you're in the game. You're at Sapphire Gardens.
Yeah, well, I said it was a ball that probably didn't deserve a wicket, but actually it's the kind of ball that can get you a wicket here in Cardiff because of the dimensions. 115 for 3. It is quite a long way out there, and that's not even the longest side of the boundary where Wyatt-Hodge took that catch. Very hard to generate the power, particularly on a cut shot, to get it over. Seen that happen a lot of times here over the years. Fielders caught square of the wicket on the boundary.
Middle, please.
Yeah, and it's always a good option.
No, that's covering middle.
Keep bowling it into the surface and force the batters to target bigger boundaries square. You know, batters like Ash Gardner, even Elise Perry, they're not going to play too many on the ground. As long as you have your fielders in the right position, there's always an opportunity. Also becomes a more difficult boundary option. I think every time they've gone slightly full, Australian batters have found the straight boundary with ease. Can they get one more now, just to try and make things interesting?
Is this a chance for long on? It is. Comfortable catch for Freya Kemp. Is there just a glimmer of hope here for England? Eccleston strikes and the dangerous Harris is gone.
That is a big wicket. It'll just get England injected with some belief. It is a warm-up, but these are the sort of situations you wouldn't mind trying to get on the right side off. There's a partnership that was threatening to take the game away. That was broken last over, and one brings two. Sophie Eccleston tosses one up, and Harris has not had her eye in. Finds the fielder at long on. She goes for just the one, and Australia 115 for 4. Maybe there is still some life in this warm-up game for the home side. As the players take a drink.
Let's have a look at the replay then. Grace Harris just backing herself because she's such a good ball striker, but sometimes your eye just isn't in. Short boundary, so you understand why she was trying to do it, but maybe she just needed a couple more deliveries.
And she's gone against the turn. It's not a lot of turn, but all you need is enough to get it to find the edge of the bat and not the middle, because Grace Harris is a powerful ball striker.
So hello to you wherever you are watching around the world, and this is where you can. For example, in India, Star Sports and Geo Hotstar is where you need to be, and we are everywhere. UK, Australia, Pakistan, Middle East and North Africa, US and Canada, New Zealand, Bangladesh, and plenty more as well. Huge tournament this, the biggest women's T20 World Cup ever. Sri Lanka, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Pacific Islands, hello to you guys there. The Netherlands playing in this tournament for the first time, all over the Caribbean, Latin America and the rest of the world. You can watch via ICC.tv as well, don't forget that. And we're anticipating, we hope, one of the best T20 World Cups we've seen, because as we keep saying, there are a number of sides that can win it. Annabelle Sutherland, the new batter. Actually, Annabelle Sutherland probably coming in a little higher than maybe some would expect. She's been shoved down the order a bit of late. 7, 8, 9, but she's much better than that. Much better player than a number 9, that's for sure. Maybe hasn't quite found her feet as a batter in T20 yet, but when she does, she'll be a real force.
I was just going to say, she's a key part of the engine room of the ODI side.
Squirted away through the gap. It's running away across the square. That is a quick outfield right there, isn't it? Still quickened up as the sun has been shining.
That is a shot of a batter of caliber, one who knows how to find gaps in the middle phase of an ODI innings, because that's not a bad ball. It's not overly full, it's not too wide. She's manufactured that. It's the angle of the bat to find the gap.
Pulls hard, just short of deep mid-wicket. In fact, Danny Gibson does very well there, because it was an awkward bounce just in front of her. Didn't quite know whether to go for the catch initially, and then made the right decision. Quicker ball. Oh, misfield. It means that Elise Perry will keep the strike. 121 for 4.
Six overs to go in this game. Now bowling for England at the River 73, Freya Kemp.
Australia just over a run of ball to beat England in this T20 World Cup warm-up match. Live for you from Cardiff. India beat West Indies earlier on today, and Australia make a bit of a statement, take down one of their big rivals for this trophy. Here comes Freya Kemp.
Brilliant, Kempy.
Do you think this would be a big statement if Australia can get over the line quite comfortably? I know it's a warm-up game. If they can get over, win this with a couple of overs to spare, would that open up a bit of psychological scarring for England?
I think it's more about the manner in which they put a squeeze on England's batting for a large part of the innings with the new ball. I think they'll take some notes of what they still can improve on, but England had to bat exceptionally to get back in the game. And that was still an Australian side that were playing around with their bowling options.
Pulled away behind square, 4 runs. Just the wrong line, really. Allowed Elise Perry to get inside that ball and help herself to another 4.
Yeah, it's a freebie for Elise Perry, who's got her eye in, who's looking dangerous, and she's hit better balls than that to the boundary. Freya Kemp's been expensive today. She's going at nearly 11s.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a worry for England. Surprised we haven't seen Danny Gibson yet with the ball, who's the other seam bowling all-rounder. Freya Kemp is a useful option because she's the only left-arm seamer. Maybe they just want to get as many overs into her as possible, but she's been a bit disappointing today.
One thing you feel like Freya Kemp's a lock-in in England's main 11, so as much game time as she gets, as many overs under her belt. This is with an eye to what they're going to have to deal with in the opening game on Friday.
Slower ball, it'll be a leg by. Yeah, I think with Kemp, the bowling's a bonus really, but you just need that power down the order, which is maybe where England are slightly lacking compared to some other teams, is with a bit of power at the back end of the innings. Such a clean striker of the ball. But then Gibson, you would say, probably the more reliable bowler. So there's 2 straight away. Elise Perry. They're going to get it.
She's been comfortable against this angle, and often the erring in line has been too easy. I wouldn't mind Freya Kemp trying change the angle a bit into her 3rd over now. I think she will be handy as the pitches wear out a bit more. Change of pace becomes effective.
Drilled hard and straight. It's 4 runs. Elise Perry motoring. 45 off 30. Australia motoring towards their target. They need just 24 more.
Australia 134 for 4. Another 24 runs needed by Australia. 5 overs remaining. Returning bowler for England at the Cathedral Road at 21 T 14 Coleman.
24 needed. 5 overs in which to do it, and Perry is looking at a brilliant best. 45 not out from just 30 deliveries. Doing this at a canter. Really, Australia? Tash Farrant alongside me. You might need it just to ring your chauffeur up to come at a slightly earlier time. He got dropped off here today. I had a lovely walk through the park this morning to get to the ground. Get your steps in.
Yeah, some of us didn't quite wake up early enough this morning. Thanks for just letting everyone know, Daggers. But I did give Rannoch a lift, so at least I did something good this morning.
Ah, so it's Kapoor that needs a strong talking to. Really has turned into a lovely day after a grim start very grey. It's well worth reminding that we've got another set of warm-up games. There's more games going on tomorrow at Derby. If you're in the area, get yourself down there and watch some of the warm-up games. To me, that sounded a little bit like it was pad bat, but yeah, the weather forecast is getting better. I've heard there's going to be a heat wave at the weekend.
Yeah, that's just what we need. Just as the Women's World Cup, T20 World Cup starts, that would be great to see. I'm really looking forward to that first game at Edgbaston, England against Sri Lanka. Should get a really good crowd there as well.
It's well bowled by Courtine Coleman. It's a good comeback over. 5 runs from it, 139 for 4. So this is what we've got to look forward to on Wednesday here in Cardiff, as India take on England again, and that is 9:50 local time. Make sure you join us for that. And then the West Indies are going to take on Australia in the afternoon game. All here from Sophia Gardens. And hopefully we'll have the same conditions as we've had today.
Might even walk in with your daggers as well, if you're lucky.
That's gone now. That opportunity's passed.
I missed the one
You've got to
opportunity.
do both. You've got to do both or none at all.
I just thought I'm going to see you all day. Maybe have a little time off from each other.
Yeah, don't blame me. Yeah, it's a good call. Can't respond to that, so I won't. Just knocking them off comfortably. Here, Australia looking pretty good order. Look very good with the ball and in the field, as they so often do.
Yeah, no Litchfield as well. So Australia will be hoping to get her back in sooner rather than later.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Just flat batted. Dismissed from her presence, and it's a half century for Elise Perry. Worrying signs for the rest of the T20 World Cup teams. Just 34 deliveries.
Yeah, this is just too good for Elise Perry. I don't even know if she realises she's got 50. If she has realised, she's not bothered about it. But what a shot to bring up your 50 as well. And I just really enjoyed the way she's gone about it. 54% of her runs coming in boundaries as well.
You're right, Tash. She arrived at the crease with a real sense of purpose, as though she wanted to take on the bowlers. Busy at the crease, keeping that scoreboard ticking over, and boundaries have come thick and fast from her bat.
Do you know what? I'm not saying that she's not a lock-in for this 11, but actually when you have so much competition for places with the bat, then everyone has to raise their game, and that's exactly what Perry has done so far today.
Another short ball tried. Perry just helps it on its way. You can understand Filer trying it. You've got to try something. But Perry is more than equal to it.
Yeah, I don't mind it from Filer. Trying to test out that faded helmet of Elise Perry's, but she's just been so tricky to bowl at today. When she came out, felt that she hit anything full down the ground, and then she got a little bit of length to work with. Little leg side too, but Australia going to this victory at a bit of a canter here. 10 off 20 needed. Partnership 33 off 22.
Talk us through that one, Tash.
Well, actually, I'd love to see a little slow-mo of this, but I don't think it needs to be any slower than it actually was. Lauren Filer doesn't normally go to the slower delivery. This might be a bit of a leg cutter, but it's just gone absolutely nowhere. Elise Perry, she's in such good form. She's done well to get anything on that. She sees the funny side of it, that's for sure.
Well, part of me thought at the end of the over, 149 for 4, 9 runs to win. Something tells me that Perry moved really, really, really early. Yes, she did. It was a slow ball that was coming anyway.
Is that the worst and the best ball that you've ever seen?
That's some interesting cricket, that. Are there no seats in the sun? Look like they're on an Antarctic trip. All wrapped up. Eccleston to bowl her final over. Will Australia try and finish it this over?
I'm sure they'll want to. And that's Sivabrunt going to a premier spinner, trying to eke this inevitable loss out for as long as possible here.
Oh, clever. Very clever. Knows where the field is. The extra little bit of pace from Eccleston. We've seen power and we've seen the delicate touch.
Yeah, and another example of how Elise Perry has been working on her game just because she's arguably the greatest player in the women's game. Doesn't seem like she's just happy with the shots that she's got. I haven't seen her play too many reverse sweeps of late. That's obviously something that she's been working on, and also just such a good tactical awareness, knowing that Eccleston is going to go full here. No short third either.
Over the top of extra cover. This time it was a shot she was trying to do on the floor in the previous delivery. This time she's gone the aerial route.
Yeah, top class running as well to go with the shot. She's been out there for most of this innings, Elise Perry. But she's not tiring at all. Ran the first one quickly to get back for the second. She wants to make sure that she is the one to hit these winning runs. Only 3 needed.
Yeah, be the one that's out there shaking the hands of the opposition. That's what they say. One blow to win it for Australia. And yes, it may be a warm-up game, but this is a bit of a shellacking.
I really want to see in the next game from England that the 11 that they think is the best 11 that they feel going into that first game. We haven't seen that yet. Injuries to Nat Sivabrunt, Danny White-Hodge missed a couple of games early on in the summer. Charlie Dean rested today along with Lindsay Smith. So that next game against India, I'm hoping that we're going to see what England's best 11 is.
End of the over. Just 2 runs to win. Yeah, a couple of Australians that we've not seen. Lucy Hamilton, exciting young talent. Tall, fast bowler. She can give it a bit of a biff down the order as well. Lucy Hamilton. Yeah, we didn't see Hamilton. We've not seen Phoebe Litchfield. Not seen much of Nicola Carey either. Maybe they'll get an opportunity come Wednesday. So just a couple of runs to achieve for Australia as Lauren Bell returns. Oh, could pick up a wicket or, yep. And very well done. Very well done, Danny Gibson. Got herself in the right position this time. Elise Perry won't be there to shake the hands, but her job is done. And a smart piece of work removes Perry from the action.
Yeah, almost as a batter in this situation, you just feel bad for the batter coming in. Only a couple of runs needed. But a good catch from Danny Gibson. Wasn't the best delivery from Lauren Bell. Definitely there to hit. This time she does get her positioning right on the boundary. She realises she was potentially going to go over the rope with the momentum of the ball. So just pops it back into the rope. And a good catch this time on the other side of the field for Danny Gibson. What an innings though from Elise Perry. She meant business from ball one when she came into the crease. 64 or 44 for her 145 strike rate. 156 for 5, only 2 runs needed.
Oh, another one added to the Bell wicket tally. Talia McGrath. I was thinking that she had to do no more for the rest of the day. Flicks it away and should comfortably pick up 2 and seal the deal for Australia. Only 1 ball needed from McGrath. And now the final action of this Wednesday of warm-up games here at Sophia Gardens. Handshakes and high fives all round from the Australian perspective. They did it with 10 balls to spare. Very comfortable, both with bat, ball and in the field, Australia. They look like they mean business this next coming month. And for England, well, still 1 or 2 question marks in certain areas. And given a sharp dose of reality today.
Yeah, and you've got to be at your very best against Australia. They are always the favourites for these T20 World Cups and also ODI World Cups. And England just weren't quite at their best today. They weren't playing their best 11. Lindsay Smith, Charlie Dean rested today. Good to see Nat Sciver-Brunt back in England colours. We haven't seen her yet this summer. Just picked up that calf injury leading into the international summer. So good news for England fans that Nat Sciver-Brunt is going to be fit to play in the T20 World Cup. Just feel that England just didn't do enough in the first innings with the bat. 157 against this Australian side on a good wicket at Sophia Gardens. It's just never going to be enough runs. And Australia, as ever, just so clinical in all 3 facets of the game.
Well, from an England perspective, it's good news that the captain on screen is back in the all-red and England colours, leading the side. Such a valuable player in at number 3 for England. Got undone by Alana King today, but there's better things to come, you feel, as she just finds her way back into the side and shakes off a little bit of rust, having not played because of injury. Those not playing today, Charlie Dean, who's had a great start to this summer, similarly with Lindsay Smith. Maybe they will get their chance on Wednesday. Well, England had no real answer. Excellent 43 from 26 to kick things off. Mooney and Volt put on a 50-run partnership for the Firth wicket for Elise Perry. And her 64 from 44 got Australia to the cusp of victory. McGrath and Sutherland were there when victory was completed.
And once again, Lauren Bell, pick of the bowlers, 2 wickets for her. I don't feel that she ever goes through a game now without picking up at least a couple of wickets. Lauren Filer, first game of the summer for her for England. I thought she bowled well, but it was a little bit expensive. Like Australia were targeting Courtine Coleman. Eccleston, once again, pretty economical. Kemp went for a few, over 10 runs and over. And Alice Capsey just picking up the 1 wicket as well.
So the story of the day, Australia comfortable victors by 5 wickets. 10 balls remaining in all 3 aspects, or all 3 disciplines. Australia just having the upper hand. 158 for 5 in just 18.2 overs. Well, that faded helmet tells you all you need to know, is that Elise Perry spends a lot of time in the sunshine with bat in hand. It was no different today. We'll get reaction from this World Cup warm-up game in a few moments' time. A good day's cricket had by everyone here in Cardiff in these T20 Women's World Cup warm-up matches. England against Australia today. England posting 157 for 6. Always felt like it was 20 or 30 light. Australia cantering to victory with only 5 wickets down and 10 balls to spare. Let's get a little bit of reaction from this game as Ronat Kapoor is downstairs with the captains.
Yeah, got Nat Sivabrant first. Nat, not the result you would have wanted, but in these warm-up games with the objectives you might have set for yourself for the day, what pleased you most?
Yeah, I think certainly with the bat we probably didn't have the best of starts, but in the middle we had some brilliant partnerships to get us up to a great score. Set a great platform for the likes of Freya Kemp and Danny Gibson to come in and accelerate the innings towards the end there. So I think from where we were at the end of the power play, we got to a really good score.
Speaking of that partnership, might I ask you to just comment on Alice Capsey's run of form? And I think England have been waiting for exactly this sort of impact. What have you observed on her game going up a notch in recent weeks?
Yeah, she seems really clear about what she wants to do and how she wants to go about it. Really committed to her shots as well. So yeah, the rest of us can learn a little thing or two from her. But yeah, hopefully she doesn't waste some more in the warm-up games. But yeah, I mean, it's great to have people in form leading into a tournament, obviously as important as this and as special as this.
Freya Kemp, big part of your plans?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she can be so explosive with the bat. And yeah, also offers that all-round performance and can affect a game from anywhere. So yeah, it'd be headaches for that first game selecting the 11.
How's the body after 20 overs of fielding?
Yeah, okay. Bit rusty out there. Forgot to tell people to bowl as well, a couple of overs in a row. So yeah, good to get the first one out of the way.
It's only a warm-up. Is this the brightest day in Cardiff you remember?
Yeah, it's beautiful now. A little bit windy out there, but no, it's yeah, good to get some cricket on.
You'll have some more before the big one, so we'll see you in a couple of days' time. Tough luck today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Nat Sivabram, the England captain, and now if I might invite Sophie Molyneux, the Australian captain. I can understand why the jumper's on.
It's a little bit cold, isn't it?
Happy with how that came about today?
Yeah, it was really pleasing. I think from all three aspects of the game. I thought the girls fielded really well and there's heaps of energy and yeah, seeing a few different combinations with the ball. Kim bowled really well, Bells bowled really well, our spinners got into the game and yeah, to see Pez and Moons take the game on like that, yeah, really pleased, plenty of positives.
Wasn't a combination that saw you bowling today?
No, bench today. No, I think we're just got to keep looking at our options. Yeah, we've got another practice match in a couple of days, so I might snag a couple of overs then.
How much in these warm-up games is you thinking about putting bowlers in familiar roles so they can get better at it, or putting them out of their comfort zone if needed?
I think there's a bit of a balance there. I don't think you want to steer too far away from what we're going to do, because you do want players to get comfortable and used to the situations they might come across. But there's also an opportunity to be able to explore and find out a little bit as well. So there's a bit of a balance there, and yeah, really pleased. We've had 3 practice matches now in the last week. So yeah, definitely finding out a few things about our bowling side of things, that's for sure.
As far as the batting goes, it's not like we've not seen Elise Perry do that, but the fire still seems to be burning. Did it almost seem like she wanted to finish the game off quickly, try to hit every ball for 4 today?
Yeah, she batted beautifully today, and look, she just keeps getting better and better, and she makes the people around her better, and yeah, she really leads from the front in that sense, and it was nice to see her get out there and have a bit of fun with the bat. I do think she wanted to finish it off pretty quick. That was a really nice shot, just hitting into the wind. But yeah, she's hitting the ball clean, and not only her, you know, Moons at the start is really setting a nice platform for us, and everyone else is chipping in as well. So yeah, we've got a confident group of players, that's for sure.
All right, good day at the office. Enjoy the day off, and we'll see you in a couple of days. Well done, Sophie.
See you in a couple of days. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to both the captains. Thanks to Ronat Kapoor. We've had a really good day here, and we've got more to come in a couple of days' time. Same venue here in Cardiff, Sapphire Gardens, and 2 matches for you to look forward to. India are going to play England again. That's a 9:50 a.m. local time for a 10 o'clock kickoff. And then a little bit later on in the afternoon, make sure you join us from 2:50 p.m. as the West Indies will take on Australia. So lots to look forward to. A few other players might get an opportunity, but we are warming up nicely for this Women's T20 World Cup. Thanks for your company today. We look forward to it on Wednesday.